High. So they got the fire lit last year. They made it to the playoffs. They beat Nickerson here at home in overtime and then went down and took on the eventual state champion. So anytime you play the state champion and don't win, it's not such a bad deal.
Yeah, I think you and I had a really good run of games to end the year last year, didn't we? Weren't they all
absolutely
late game wins and overtimes and everything else? But you're exactly right. I think anytime you talk to any of these players as well as their parents, I think you see that hunger that was created last year by everything they were able to accomplish throughout the year. And like we talked about at the end of the year, just that whole feeling that you have that chance to be able to win a game late really adds that, and I think that's going to be a nice springboard into this season.
It will be. It's crazy enough. But while you're coming to the game, if you're not here yet, stop by the front gates. They're having a barbecue sponsored by the After Prom Committee and sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, and there's also a drive for your school going on, so make sure you come out and sign up and take a test drive. $20 or $25 is being donated for every test drive to the school, so come out quickly and grab a quick ride and listen to us on the radio while you're taking that quick drive out there around the block for a fundraiser for the Smoky Valley Booster Club, I believe it is.
Yes, that's correct.
Well, tonight is the opening of the season for everybody across the state. There were a few games on Thursday night, but other games going on around the league. Haven is at Nickerson, Garden Plain at Heston. That's going to be a game that a lot of people are going to watch tonight. Hillsboro at Lyons, Hoisington at Kingman, and Larned at Pratt, and then Halstead here at Smoky Valley. We'll take our first time out. We'll come back with more pregame. You're listening to Smoky Valley Football.
It's tough out there. Trying to stretch every paycheck a little further than the last one, it means cutting costs, and one of the best places to start is at the State Farm office of Anthony Hopkins in Ellsworth, because he'll do a free discount double check to make sure you're getting the car insurance discounts you deserve. Sometimes those can be up to 40%. So give State Farm agent Anthony Hopkins a call today, because being there to help keep more money in your pocket is why he's there. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Arn Reinert, CPA LLC, provides tax and accounting services in the Smoky Valley area and is a proud supporter of Smoky Valley High School and Bethany College activities. Located at 117 South Lincoln Street in Lindsborg. Arn Reinert, CPA LLC.
All high school activities a positive experience. By being courteous and respectful to all players and officials, we can help assure high school activities are indeed the other half of education. And now for our starters. For Halstead, number 4, a sophomore, Eric Probst. Number 5, a sophomore, Dayton Krause. Number 7, a senior, Dalton Krause. Number 9, a junior, Braden Gerber. Number 15, a senior, Noah Mendez. Number 46, a junior, David Schulte. Number 50, a senior, Vincent Roebuck. Number 58, a senior, Andrew Blaylock. Number 61, a senior, Jacob Rolfs. Number 75, a sophomore, Ethan McDonald. And number 76, a senior, Wyatt Seibel. Head coach Jason Greider, assisted by Chris Wilson, Ryan Moran, Jesse Mueller, and Trey Teeter. Managers are Jason Matai and Owen Burbrink. Smoky Valley starters. Number 5, a senior, Kyle Anderson. Number 15, a senior, Brett Heichschmidt. Number 19, a senior, Zion Thomas. Number 20, a senior, Zach Abel. Number 44, a senior, Riley Odell. Number 50, a junior, Conrad Peterson. Number 55, a senior, Kai Shugren. Number 58, a senior, Riley Mayer. Number 62, a junior, Nate Groslin. Number 63, a junior, Ethan Walkler. And number 83, a senior, Jacob Adams. The Vikes are coached by Tim Lambert, assisted by James Henderson, Chris McClure, Ben Elliott, Alan Meyer, and Chuck Peters. Managers are Emily Nelson, Jenna Bruce, and Shaylee Anderson.
With the systems that we've put in and the coaches and what we expect out of them, things just seem to go faster.
Remove your hats by the Smoky Valley Pep Band. for tonight's game are Jay Eck, Tyson Steiner, Rodney Kalen, Adam
athletic setting.
Well, you got a good opponent in Halstead. They've clipped you the last couple of years. You obviously, and the players would obviously like to step it up and get a victory on your home opener.
Yeah, and I can't say enough about Halstead's program and what they've done there. I don't know, how long Coach Greider's been there. A few years longer than me here. 5 maybe. And he put in his system, and they're kind of in a habit of winning right now. And I think we can get into a habit of winning. But right now we just need to break their habit. And I think we can do that. We're going to have to play very well, but we certainly have a good shot of beating them, I think. But it isn't going to be easy anytime you play a hard-nosed football team that comes at you. They tackle, they hit, their system has been in a long time, so they're used to doing things a certain way, and when you're used to doing things a certain way, then you can do them faster, and you can see that by watching Halstead play.
Again, we're talking with Coach Lambert pregame before the Friday night opener at home against Halstead, and obviously, usually anyway, defenses are ahead of offenses. How is that progressing? Do the defense feel more comfortable or offense?
I really don't know. I think offensively we've practiced well, maybe better than we would have assumed at this point in time. But you're in practice, so so really, I really couldn't tell you which one's ahead. I would assume that if things play out the way they usually do, that your defense is going to be ahead of your offense at this point in time of the year. But our offense has practiced well.
You mentioned that you gave up a kickoff return last year with Halstead. That brings up the thought about special teams. How are special teams coming along?
Well, I think they should be better. I think we have more depth this year. We've got some good athletic kids that can run, that are going to play special teams. So hopefully that is a much improved area from a year ago.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck Friday night. Good luck, and go get them.
Thank you, Don.
Tim Lambert of the Vikings, and we'll be back with more pregame right after this.
It's tough out there. Trying to stretch every paycheck a little further than the last one, it means cutting costs, and one of the best places to start is at the State Farm office of Anthony Hopkins in Ellsworth, because he'll do a free discount double check to make sure you're getting the car insurance discounts you deserve. Sometimes those can be up to 40%. So give State Farm agent Anthony Hopkins a call today, because being there to help keep more money in your pocket is why he's there. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Did you know you can purchase custom-etched glassware at the Hemsloyd? It's a perfect one-of-a-kind gift. Hemsloyd Scandinavian Specialties and GlassDecorators.com, supporting Smoky Valley and Bethany Athletics since 1984. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by the Bank of Tesket. Generations of confidence, relationships for life. With locations in Lincoln, Salina, Tesket, and Lindsborg. The Bank of Tesket, member FDIC.
We're the Bank of Tesket.
The Quarterback Club of Lindsborg is proud to support athletics in the Smoky Valley. Join us each Tuesday at 7 a.m. in the Bethany College cafeteria to hear from all the Vikings and Swedes sports coaches.
Opera Pharmacy is your local hometown Lindsborg pharmacy. Located at 216 North Harrison Street. Proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
This is the People's Bank and Trust Tailgate Party on 95.5 The Rock.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College for Smoky Valley's football tonight. The start of the 2017 season. Don Binkson here with you along with Doug Snyder. And we are anxiously awaiting the kickoff. The Vikings have won the toss. They deferred, so Halstead will be kicking from the north end. There's a slight little breeze, and now the flag is just kind of wrapped around the pole, so there's just absolutely no wind out here tonight. And it is going to be a great, great night. Halstead in their all-white uniforms with I said that wrong. Smoky Valley won the toss and deferred, so we're kicking. So kicking for us is number 32, Raleigh Wilson. It's Halstead in their all-white uniforms with blue lettering, and the Vikings in their black tops with white lettering, white pants, black stripes down the side, black helmets, and Raleigh Wilson has it teed up at the 40-yard line. Deep for Halstead, number 4, Kraus, or Probst, and it's going to come to one of the upbacks, number 42. Oh, it's dropped, now finally picked up by one of the upbacks and driven down at the 25-yard line. A much better start from last year. They ran the opening kickoff back last year in a 35-6 victory for Halstead at Halstead. So the Vikings certainly have done a good job. And Doug, when you get a chance, you can tell us how our Vikings are starting on defense.
Our defense tonight, we've got Jacob Adams at defensive end for us, number 83, number 50, Conrad Peterson, and 63, Wampler at the defensive tackles. Kai Schugren, our defensive end. Windholtz, he is going to be our corner. Lane Schrag at our other corner, and we'll talk about the rest here in a second.
Kraus under center, hands it off, coming sweep, coming on the right side, number 4, running the ball, Probst, and Probst will get across the 30, up to the 30, just barely the 31-yard line for a gain of right about 5 yards. So second down and 5. We'll get to those lineups here as we go. The Vikings with new members in there. Ethan Wampler, Kai Schugren played a little bit at defensive end last year. Conrad Peterson got a little bit in defensive line last year. Jacob Adams was a starter on defense last year. So second down and 5. Kind of like a wishbone offense. It looks like what Halstead. Kraus is under center, going to go wide again, and a good defensive ball's loose on the ground. Could be a turnover. Looks like it's going to stay with Halstead. Somehow the ball got knocked out of bounds, or got knocked loose. Anyway, a fumble by Probst on that play, but recovered by Halstead for a loss of about a yard on the play, so it's back to the 29-yard line. So it's going to be third down and 6 for this Viking defense. A Viking defense that really has a good couple of good, quick speedsters at safety in Zach Abel and Tim Lambert and the linebacking crew. Well, now it looks like Kyle Anderson is back in a little bit of a free safety. Now he shifts over to linebacker. We've got a wide receiver near side, power I formation near side. First man through has got the ball, and he's not going to make it. He gets about 2, so it's going to be a 3 and out for Halstead on their first possession. So the Viking defense does what they need to do. They stop Halstead, and it's going to be a 3 and out on the first possession for the Smoky Valley defense. Punting for Halstead. We'll get the punter for you here in a minute, but it looks like Zach Abel is going to be the return man. Looks like number 3 is going to be the punter, Tayton Winkle. A couple of upbacks in front of him, one on each side, and there's a flag. Let's hope that's on the offense. It usually is. They wouldn't stop the play, but that'll back them up 5 yards, because that would be a first down if it would have been on the Vikings. So back them up 5 yards on Halstead. First penalty of the night for either team.
Yeah, great tackle on the last play by Cord Elliott, sticking his nose in there and really finishing off that play. And like you said, able to move him backwards here and hopefully giving us an opportunity to get really good field position on this first possession.
So the punter is standing back at the 15-yard line. Zach Abel starting at the 35. Dropped the ball. Pressure coming. It's a high, short kick. Everybody get out of the way. And it bounces and takes a little bit of a Halstead bounce, but the Vikings are going to get excellent field position at the 42-yard line, where they'll be able to start their first possession of the 2016 under the direction of Brett Heitschmidt. His backs are Kyle Anderson and Riley Odell, with Court Elliott back there in the backfield as well. Zach Abel will be a wide receiver as well. Jacob Adams will get the lineman for you here momentarily. Heitschmidt will go under center. Looks like it'll be a wishbone formation. I asked Coach Lambert if he was going to throw a deep ball on the first play. The answer will be nope. Here comes Kyle Anderson. He's got some running room. He's near midfield, churning hard, and he'll get about 6 or 7 on the first play up to near the 48-yard line. A good running on the side there. That line is awesome. Conrad Peterson, Kai Schugren, Riley Mader, Nate Grossland, Ethan Wampler. Those guys, Doug, are going to have just a fun year.
Yeah, hard to throw the ball deep when you have the running backs that we have. They do such a great job, and they will continue to do that.
Second down and short. Here comes Odell. He's powering through, and he's very close to the first down. We'll see if he'll get Oh, there's a late flag. And big number 76, his teammates are pulling him out of the way. Wyatt Seibel, he's listed at 268, but he must be about 6'4", 6'5". He towers over everybody else. But I think we're going to have a personal foul on Halstead. That'll be a big penalty, so that's already their second penalty. They had a 5-yard illegal motion penalty. The Halstead coach is wondering what's going on out there. But that's a big one. That's a major penalty, so a 15-yarder plus a 5-yarder. So that's 2 penalties for 20 yards already on Halstead. That helps the Vikings' cause. The ball is inside the 35 at the 34, not quite to the 34-yard line. Tight end left is Adams. Wide receivers 2 to the far side. I formation. Here comes Odell. He's tripped up, but falls forward to the 30-yard line. He'll pick up 5, second down and 5. He's still tripped up near the line of scrimmage, but just had good balance and good, almost stiff-armed the ground to continue on and get about 5 yards.
Yeah, running backs do such a great job with the forward lean. They're always leaning forward. They're always picking up that extra yard or two, and they just do a great job getting off the blocks quickly.
Lambert and Windholtz are wide to the right. I formation behind Heitschmidt. Tight end left is Jacob Adams. Long play count by Heitschmidt. Here comes Heitschmidt, take a number himself. He's got across the 26 to the 20, maybe to the 25, but he's going to be just a yard short. He needed to get to the 25 for the first down, so it's going to be 3rd down and 1 for the Vikings here. 7:45 remaining in the first quarter, no score yet. A 3-and-out by Halstead gave the ball back to the Vikings at the 42-yard line. They started their drive at the 42-yard line, and we'll see where this one ends. We hope it ends with 6 points. Wide receiver near side, Zion Thomas. Wide receiver far side, here comes Kyle Anderson. First down yardage and more. Across the 20, across the 15, across the 10, down to the 7-yard line. Plows Kyle Anderson, just kind of stepping aside the would-be tacklers. That was an exciting run.
Picked his way through the line extremely well, made an early cut, and then was able to get a couple of blocks up the field and did a fantastic job taking it down to the 7. Taking it down to the 9, it looks like.
It looks like they're going to spot it at the 8 or the 9. Looks like it's going to be the 8. So 1st and goal from the 8. Wishbone formation again. Court Elliott and Anderson behind Odell. Here comes Riley Odell powering his way in. He's to the 5-yard line. Maybe the 6. We'll see if they don't give him the 6-yard line. Looked like he powered down inside to get to the 5, but I don't think he did. So 2nd down and goal from the 6. The Vikings would love nothing more than to come in there and put a score up on Halstead. Halstead went 3-and-out. Viking defense stiffened. And now they're driving, aided by a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty. But the Vikings would like to stick this one in the end zone on their first possession. Wishbone formation again behind Heitschmidt. He's going to turn and hand it to Anderson. Anderson trying to get outside, and he's going to be run out of bounds. No gain on the play. Good tackle in there by number 20, Odendahl. He's a junior, 150. He got out there and kept Anderson going toward the sideline, and there's no gain on that play. So 3rd down and 6 still. 6:19 remaining first quarter. First possession for the Vikings. They're hoping they can score on this possession.
Yeah, Smoky took that one to the short side, and they did a great job stringing the play out, just giving themselves time and causing Kyle to run a little bit in the wrong direction.
Elliott goes out into the slot. Court. Wide receiver Zach Abel on the near side. I formation. Heitschmidt's going to roll out the pass. He's going to throw it. He's got Jacob Adams, but he's going to be short. Adams is going to be short. He's going to get down to about the 3-yard line. So now it's decision time for Coach Lambert. Is he going to kick a field goal that would be just like an extra point, but it's on the far hash mark, or is he going to take it in and go for the touchdown? Looks like that decision hasn't been made yet. Everybody huddled up here, but here comes Blake Hebel in, so it looks like it's going to be a run. He's not a kicker, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. I think we're going to try to stick it in here and try to announce our presence with a little bit of authority here to open up 2017.
The play clock is running. They got 5 seconds left. Snap from Heitschmidt. Here comes Kyle Anderson powering in. Touchdown. Touchdown, Smoky Valley. A 3-yard run by Kyle Anderson at the 5:33 mark. And the Vikings have driven 58-yard drive to score on their first possession. Kyle Anderson, with the strength of that left side of the line, just powered it in there. Got a little help from Riley Odell and powered it in. Looks like the Vikings are going to go for 2. Here's Kyle Anderson taking off the right side, and he's in for 2. Kyle Anderson takes the 2-point conversion, and with 5:33 left in the first quarter, Smoky Valley on top 8-0. Back right after this.
People's Bank and Trust takes pride in its heritage of service to the customer and features 12 locations in central Kansas. People's Bank and Trust, a proud supporter of Smoky Valley and Bethany College. Member FDIC.
Lindsborg Community Hospital and Family Healthcare Clinic, supporting concussion safety and impact testing for all athletes who call the Smoky Valley home.
The Vikings play here.
Teach English on that.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field. A 3-minute and 50-second drive, 58 yards, culminating in a Kyle Anderson 3-yard run on 4th down. Halstead's defense did hold, but they were talking about in the Kansas pregame magazine, or the K-Preps magazine, Kansas pregame magazine, how Halstead's defense had held everybody so well last year, but the Vikings offense really powered it away. It's kind of an onside kick taken by one of the up guys, and they're going to get great position. A nice fielding catch by number 62, Cooper Core. He's a junior. And that little, I don't know if that was an intentional short kick or what they were going to do, but it went in there, and he caught it and went up a couple yards. And so Halstead will start 1st and 10, ball at the 47-yard line.
Great catch by a guy who I didn't think
Not
he was going to be
hands.
returning the ball today.
No, with the number 62, you don't have good hands. That's exactly right. So 1st and 10, Halstead. Under center, number 7, Dalton Krause. He's a senior. Here's going to keep it himself, trying to get to midfield. Now pitches late, and he's got some running room and a great tackle, touchdown saving tackle by Kyle Anderson on number 5. That's Caden Krause, so brother to brother there as they come across the 35-yard line and down to the 34. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 yards.
Yeah, it was a really late pitch. We had it kind of strung out, and he pitched it right along the sideline and was able to get a block down the field and really extend that play.
So big first down for Halstead after giving up the touchdown to Smoky Valley. They come right back and are in Viking territory. Power I formation right. Second guy through. No, quarterback Krause has still got the ball. Tackle being made there by number 55 for the Vikings, Kai Shugan on the tackle. But not before he gets about 4 yards right down to the 30-yard line. So Krause taking a lot of the load himself. He's a senior. He did not play quarterback last year. Heimerman, I think, was their quarterback. Krause came over from, he was a defensive starter last year. He plays defense again this time. Now it's power I left to the short side. Is going to be the fullback. No, Krause is going to keep it again. Late pitch to his brother. He's got running room across the 20, down to the 15, down to the 10, down to the 5, and short, I believe.
Looks like they're going to mark him at the 1.
1-yard line. So from the 30, that's a 29-yard option, just like the big game before. So Halstead has it in the Next Tech Wireless red zone.
I think Halstead's kind of finding what they think is a weakness in the Smoky Valley defense early. I'm sure Smoky Valley's going to make some adjustments here in a little bit to take that away, but the middle was not open on their first drive. They're hitting that edge and getting a late pitch, and we're able to get up the field again.
So 1st and goal, Halstead. 3:55 to go. Krause is going to take it himself, and he's in. Touchdown, Dalton Krause on a 1-yard run at the 3:51 mark. So it didn't take them long to answer back.
It took them less than a minute and a half. It was a quick drive. I mean, that was moving down the field very quickly. But again, all starting from their 46-yard line, 47-yard line.
The short kick.
Yep.
See what Halstead does now for the PAT. They look like a swinging gate kind of formation. Now the center all by himself, gets joined by all the linemen. It looks like they're going to kick.
Yeah, it looks like number 3, Winkle, is out there to kick this one.
The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up. The kick is high, end over end, good. And with 3:51 left to go in the first quarter, Vikings lead 8-7. Back with the kickoff right after this.
It's tough out there. Trying to stretch every paycheck a little further than the last one, it means cutting costs. And one of the best places to start is at the State Farm office of Anthony Hopkins in Ellsworth, because he'll do a free discount double check to make sure you're getting the car insurance discounts you deserve. Sometimes those can be up to 40%. So give State Farm agent Anthony Hopkins a call today, because being there to help keep more money in your pocket is why he's there. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This is a Rockingham broadcast of the Smoky Valley Vikings.
And welcome back to Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the Bethany College campus, where Bethany has had a record enrollment. They won't have official numbers until the 20th or the 20th day of classes, so it'll be coming up later this month. But a record enrollment for Bethany College, and lots of exciting things going on here. And we just love this turf field. It's going to have some attention here in the next couple of years, because it's been a good one since, I think, 07, if I remember right. So this is starting the 10th year on this field. Hard to believe that.
Seems like it was only yesterday they installed it. I mean, I can remember games when I've been here that were grass, and definitely rather mucky around midfield.
Very little grass at the end of the year. A Winkle to do the kickoff as well. Deep for the Vikings is Zion Thomas and Tim Lambert. Nice crowd on hand. Nice loud pep band competing with us for volume. High end over end booming kick is going to go deep in the end zone. They're going to let it go out of bounds, and it goes through the end zone. And Smoky Valley will have it 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
That was a nice leg. He got nice height on that kick and everything. It was, hopefully the Vikings don't come down to an ending where he has to kick a field goal, because he's going to have some range.
Absolutely. He's got a powerful leg. We're going to need to get Coach Paul Hubbard on him. That's a nice kicker for a high school kicker. No question about that. Well, 1st and 10 Vikings. They got it last time at the 42 and drove 58 yards for their score. See what they do this time. Zion Thomas, one wide to the near side. Zach Abel wide to the far side. I formation behind Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt is going to keep it himself. He's got running room across the middle. He's got first down yardage across the 30. So one play, one first down for Brad Heitschmidt.
Dalton Krausen on the tackle for Halstead. Otherwise, I think he might still be running. It was a great saving tackle there at the 30.
Again, that front line of Conrad Peterson, Kai Shugren, Riley Mader, Nate Grosslin, and Ethan Wampler are opening up huge holes in there. And that's a underclassman lineup, too, of the linemen. 2 receivers to the far side this time. I formation again behind Heitschmidt. This time he'll give it to Riley Odell, and Riley's going to get wrapped up. Great tackle in there by number 5, Caden Krause. He's only a sophomore, but from his linebacker position, he got a hold of the ankles of Riley Odell, and Riley's going to get 1 yard on that play, so 2nd down and 9. 8-7 is our score at the 3-minute mark. Vikings on top by the strength of a 2-point conversion versus a kick by Halstead. Wishbone formation this time, double tight. Turn and hand it off to Lambert. Lambert trying to get outside. Now he's going to cut up and be tackled for a gain of only about 2 yards. He was trying to get that little slice right through there, and he just got tackled up a little bit, but he might have been off to the races. Tim Lambert might be the fastest person on the team.
Yeah, extremely quick out of the backfield, and he's very shifty. If he can ever get that first cut and be able to make it, great tackle that time by Noah Mendez, was able to get a shoestring tackle on him. Like you said, if he didn't, he's probably still headed down to the other end.
So 3rd down and long for the Vikings, and now the Vikings are going to call timeout. Coach Lambert not happy about what play they had called, or personnel, one or the other. Timeout on the field. We'll step aside as well. 2:12 left to go. First quarter. Vikings on top, 7-8. Back right after this.
Stop by Freddy's Frozen Custard before or after the game. Try Freddy's world-famous mouth-watering steak burgers or their delicious frozen custard. Freddy's in Salina, 2420 South 9th, next to Dick's Sporting Goods.
The Old Stuga in downtown Lindsborg is celebrating 40 years in business. Home of the famous Brent Nelson sandwich. Visit them on South Main Street. Go Vikings and go Swedes.
You're listening to Smoky Valley Vikings Athletics.
And welcome back to Smoky Valley Football. Don Bingson along with Doug Snyder. We got Jared Bass working the controls for us once again. Want to thank some of our sponsors, Harry Malary, Scott's, R&R Excavating. Contact Maury Loader for all your Smoky Valley real estate needs. Dr. Darrell Loader, Smoky Valley Chiropractic, CNL Heating and Cooling. Heitschmidt pitches to Anderson. Anderson far side looking for a seam to try to get through, but he's going to be wrapped up for a gain of only 2, so it's going to be 4th and 5. And the Vikings are going to send their punter out for the first time, and their punter, I believe, is going to be Riley Odell. He's going to step back and punt the ball away. So Riley Odell will be punting it away to number 4, Probst, and number 15, I believe it is.
Mendez.
High wobbly kick, going to take a Viking bounce, taken by Halstead at the 25, 30 up the middle, 35, 40, and then running into a pile about the 42-yard line. So, again, pretty decent field position for Halstead. Got about a 15-yard gain on that return. So, a little more of a line drive type kick. Even though it took a bounce, they got a good return on it. So, 1st and 10, Halstead. 3 and out for the Vikings on that possession.
Yeah, nice punt on behalf of Riley. We took a little bounce. I think it maybe caught us off guard a little bit, and then they were able to get the ball up, like you said, to the 43, 1st and 10 for Halstead.
Power I formation to the left. Oh, ball's loose on the ground, but picked up by the deep ball Kraus. That's going to go for a loss of about 5 or 6 yards back to the 38-yard line. So that'll be a loss of 5 yards on the play. But they've had some big chunk yardage in a couple of those sweeps and options, late pitches, so see what kind of adjustments the Vikings can make. First substitution is Ethan Wampler comes out. Somebody came in for him, number 56. Carson Holdren coming in on the defensive line. So it's Adams and Peterson and Holdren and Shugan on the front 4 for the Vikings right now. The linebackers are Hebel, Anderson, and Odell, and Court Elliott. And the corners are Abel and Lane Schrog, and the safety is Tim Lambert.
Looks like we may have had an issue with the wrong ball out on the field there. We're not quite sure exactly what the scenario is there. They're checking out the footballs from the sideline to make sure we have the right one for each team. Of course, each team provides their own football for the game, and so trying to make that decision and get everything ready to go. First game again, remember.
Oh, yeah. Always got to be some first game issues.
You know, 2 very good football teams here getting the year going. You could tell all of them are trying to get their feet wet a little bit. The Vikings had that nice initial drive for their touchdown, and then Halstead responded, and, you know, both teams kind of settling in, and I think it's going to be that game of attrition here as we continue throughout the rest of the evening.
I recognize one official over there, Rodney Palin. He did a lot of basketball. I think that's Rodney over there on the far sideline.
I've always had good things to say about Rodney. You know me and officials, Don.
Absolutely. Here comes a little option again. Late pitch to Kraus. He's got some running room, but he's going to be tackled about the 45-yard line. He'll get run out of bounds about the 45, so it'll be a gain of about 7. That'll bring up 3rd and about 8 or 9 for the Halstead Dragons, who won over Smoky Valley at Halstead last year. This is the first year in 3 years the Vikings have had a home game on their season opener. They've always, obviously you have a home opener every year, but the last 2 years it's been on the road. So 3rd and long for Kraus and his Halstead Dragons. Going to try a big one. There's another one on the Kraus, and he's going to stiff arm and try to get around her, but he's going to be just short if they spot it where they think they are. And boy, they got a favorable spot. Caden Kraus dove for the sideline, and I thought he was out of bounds, but they're going to give him a first down. What a favorable spot. What a great effort by Kraus.
Yeah, he had to get a stiff arm there on Abel, and then finally tripped up by Timmy Lambert. But again, he was able to lean forward. Might have given him a smidge more than maybe what we saw up here.
Yeah, because he got blocked out. The official was still on the other side of the 50-yard line, and that ball spotted at the 44 or 46. So he was a little bit out of position to make that spot, but he gave him a favorable spot. There's an offside, and that's going to be lined up. The tight end was offside, so back him up again on the other side of midfield. They just crossed midfield for that first down. So they'll go back across the midfield stripe. 17.5 seconds is all that's left in this first quarter. Vikings on top 8-7, but Halstead driving the ball has got a first down, but then they got a 5-yard penalty. So that's their fourth penalty. For
looks
25
like
yards.
Halstead's going to be content to run out the quarter, and so the Vikings are going to end the first quarter up 8-7.
And we'll be back right after this.
Ever wonder why some wireless carriers charge so much more than others? At Nextech Wireless, you'll receive nationwide coverage, 4G LTE data, and unlimited data, but we don't overcharge you like some of the other carriers do. Plus, we have buy one, get one free smartphones and the best customer service. With more than 50 stores in our area, you can actually talk to us face-to-face. Tired of paying more and only getting more fees, charges, and a higher bill? Say goodbye to your carrier and hello to Nextech Wireless.
This is a Smoky Valley Vikings broadcast.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where the Vikings have a lead at the end of the first quarter. They didn't have a lead in any game, any first game last year or the last 2 years, as Halstead has pretty well taken it to the Vikings the last couple of years. So as you build on things, it's got to be good. You got some totals, offensive totals for both teams?
Yeah, in the first quarter there, Halstead was able to put up 72 yards, the Vikings 58. Halstead yet to throw a pass, so all their yardage is on the ground. Smoky Valley 55 on the ground, and then of course that 3-yard pass we had down there near the end zone where we completed it to Jacob Adams. So, and of course, Vikings played a really clean first quarter, no penalties, did a great job. Halstead on the other hand, 4 penalties as you pointed out, certainly aided that first Smoky Valley drive, and of course now that's put them in a 1st and 15 after the penalty before the quarter.
Power I formation to the right. Kraus under center. First man through, second man through. And now it's a pitch to his brother late, and he's got great defense that time. Filling in there is Lane Schrog coming from his corner position, and he got where he needed to be that time. And no gain on the play, or maybe a yard loss on the play. I believe it's going to be a yard loss on the play. So it's going to be 2nd down and 16 now for Halstead. As Lane, everybody else just kind of slow played that out, and then Lane just filled the gap there.
Yeah, we said earlier they had found a weakness on that edge, and we said Smokey was going to adjust to that, and we definitely have. We're taking that away now, so they're going to have to find some other avenue.
Looks like the ends are, at least Kai Shugan's a little wider out on this time. Looks like it's going to be a pass. Kraus rolling out to the far side. He's got a receiver. No, not anywhere close to his brother, Caden Kraus. And that falls incomplete, stops the clock with 11:14 left to go here in the first quarter. Vikings up 8-7, and now 3rd and long for Halstead. So Vikings, that good defensive play, the penalty, and then a good defensive play by Lane Schrog makes it a good one. Substitution in, number 39, Brady Weber coming in, giving Kai Shugan a break at defensive end on the right side. The power I formation to the left, the short side of the field. The ball spotted on the left hash. Kraus under center, quick snap going to the first guy up the middle, and he's got a little bit of room, but he's going to be well short. Just got across midfield to the 49-yard line. They went back to that middle, but the Vikings weren't giving up the middle. They weren't playing that too quick.
No, Conrad Peterson, great job of stuffing that in there and holding on and able to shut him down for just a couple-yard gain and just cross the 50-yard line.
Get a couple of the starters, Wampler and Peterson, get to come out on special teams, as does Kyle Anderson. So punting is Winkle. Deep for the Vikings is Zach Abel. He didn't get a return on the last one. It was a short, high kick. We'll see where it's going. Zach is at the 5-yard line. Bad snap, but Winkle picks it up. High, spiraling kick. Abel's going to let it hit and see what it does. It takes a Viking bounce. It's going to go out at the 25-yard line. It hit about the 15 and took a 10-yard Viking bounce, so he liked those kind of rolls.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. Like you said, it could have easily been a kick that would have rolled because Zach was a little ways away from it. Could have rolled against us, but instead, like you said, we probably came up 10 yards in the advantage there, and the Vikings with a chance to get the offense going from the 25. Did a nice job moving the football the first time we had it. Got stymied a little bit the second time, and now we're back out here again. Like we said, both teams kind of falling into a rhythm. trying to figure out what's working and what their strengths are, and both teams making great adjustments as the game goes along.
Slot Court Elliott to the left side, wide receiver Zach to the near side, I formation. Here comes Lambert, and he's going to get wrapped up and driven down. Coach Lambert unhappy with the blocking up front that time, or blocking somewhere anyway. That play didn't get anywhere off the ground, so actually a loss of a yard. Back to...
Looks like the Vikings will be at the 24, 2nd and 11 now.
So 2nd and 11 for Smoky Valley. Winholtz has checked in, brought the play into Coach Heitschmidt. He's like a coach out there.
He's been out there for a few years. I think he does a little bit of that out there as well.
Heitschmidt under center. He hands it off to Lambert. Lambert's got a little bit of room. He's across the 30-yard line up to near the 31-yard line. So good running by junior. He is a junior, isn't he?
He is, yes.
Tim Lambert, son of Coach Tim Lambert. Anderson back in, Mater back in.
Such a strong athletic team this year for the Vikings that we have a lot of guys that can run that position back there and give a different look every time. Kyle's fast, but a little bit of a bruiser. Timmy's more of a slasher. And, of course, Riley taking the ball hot from the middle as well.
Here comes Anderson. He's trying the right side. He's got some running room. He's got first down yardage across the 35 up to about the 38-yard line. So power running by Kyle Anderson. He just picks and high steps his way through. He finds a little seam and finds a little weakness in somebody's arm tackle, and he just runs through those tacklers. And first down, Vikings. Well, that's good. They got that first down. They didn't do a 3-and-out again and got a little confidence there. That may be something they need. Wishbone formation behind double tight. Heitschmidt has gone all the way under center. Here comes Riley Odell pushing his way up the middle. He'll get to the 40, maybe the 41. We'll see where they spot it. 2, maybe 3 yards on the carry. It will be across the 40, right near the 41-yard line. So 2nd down and 7 for the Vikings. As the Vikings with their new black uniforms, white pants with the black striping down the side, black helmets. Most of them have orange shoes and black socks. Pretty uniform out there. Wishbone formation again. Here comes Anderson trying the left side. Ooh, somebody with a stick of a tackle there. That's number 4, Props. And he got a shoulder into Kyle Anderson, and that's a rare tackle on Kyle Anderson, but he got no gain on the play. Kyle got back to the line of scrimmage, but Props came from his linebacker position and really drove hard.
Yeah, it looked like Kyle was just getting ready to make that first initial cut, and Probst kind of made that decision. He was going to stick his nose in there and made a nice square hit and held on and was able to get him stopped for no gain. The Vikings now going to have a 3rd and about 7.
So 3rd and long for Smoky Valley. 7:40 to go for second quarter. Vikings with the lead. Here's a toss wide to Lambert. Lambert's got some room. Lambert's across first down marker and right near midfield for another Viking first down. They are going to spot the ball exactly on the 50-yard line. That was a little misdirection toss. And Lambert just took that speed, and boy, he accelerated in past that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's almost like a counterplay the way we run it. Everything's coming over here to the right, and then we kind of do a pitch back to the left. So you're trying to get the defense to shift in one direction, and then you're able to take advantage of 1 or 2 players and let our guys like Tim use his athleticism on the field to make the play. 1st and 10, Vikings at the 50.
Wishbone formation. Here comes Kyle Anderson. He's got 45-yard line. He's down to near the 40. He's across the 40 and down to the 38-yard line. You're going to spot it right at the 39, but an 11-yard gain by Kyle Anderson. Chunks of yardage starting to be taken up by the Vikings right now.
Yeah, we're able to get back into that second level a lot of times. You know, I'm watching tackles here. There seems to be a number of tackles being made by Dalton Krause in the backfield there. Starting quarterback, of course, for Halstead, so he's also having to do all the tackles. So we're hoping to be a little wear and tear there as the Vikings come out in the bone again, and Heitschmidt under center.
Heitschmidt here hands off to Lambert. Lambert trying to get some room, and he's going to be tackled at the 35-yard line, looks like. He got a gain of about 4 on the play. 2nd down and 6. Big guy coming out. Substitution for big number 76, Seibel. And number 54, a littler guy, Elijah Bridges, a senior at 203, comes in to replace him. That Seibel with about 6. Is he on the basketball team?
I think he might be. I don't remember for sure.
I don't remember. 2 receivers near side, Thomas and Abel. I formation. Here comes Riley Odell powering up the middle. He's got near the 30-yard line, down to about the 31. It looks like they're going to spot him closer to the 32 where he went down originally. The Vikings are going to be faced with a 3rd and about 3 here.
Yeah, again, Smoky Valley mixing things up. You know, we had a couple of outside runs there that really added for us, and we went it back up the middle a little bit here, starting to make them think a little bit about where we're going to go.
Misdirection, wide receiver each way this time. I formation behind Heitschmidt. Oh, a little bit of mix-up. Heitschmidt's going to take himself, and he got that ball out late. He's going to get to the 30-yard line, but it's going to be 4th down and 1. And Heitschmidt, I don't know, Riley didn't want to give that ball up, and Brett said it was his ball to take, so they had a little miscommunication there. I was looking for the fumble to come out because it was so late in pulling that ball out.
You know, with our offense, the way we run it, there are still some read plays, kind of like what we used to have a few years ago, and that looked like one of those reads, making that decision on what the defensive end is doing, and like you said, it looked like Brett wanted to pull it out, and it looked like Riley did not want to give it up. So,
big 4th down here with 4:55 left to go, second quarter. Handed off to Kyle Anderson. He's got more than enough for the first down. He get down to the 25-yard line, and the Vikings move the chain one more time. This drive has been a time consumer and been doing a good job. Vikings have run it all the way on this drive.
What a great job by our offensive line right there. You know, we needed 1, and they were able to clear it out and get us 5. So, again, those guys in the middle doing the job and getting all the work done in there that needs to get done.
That's left side. That's Ethan Wampler, Jacob Adams, and Conrad Peterson pushing hard for their running backs. Here comes Tim Lambert. He's going to get up to down to the 21, 22-yard line, or he'll be tripped up. He'll gain about 3.5, almost 4 yards. Well, Vikings putting together a nice methodical drive here. They're just doing a super job. They took over this. I don't know how long this drive has gone so far. You may be able to tell me here in a minute, but they have put this drive together after Halstead got 1 first down after the second quarter started.
Yeah, we took over at the 10:24 mark, so we're nearing almost 7 minutes.
I formation with wide receiver each way. Riley Odell trying to get something up the middle, but a great play in there by number 46, a linebacker coming in. That's David Schulte. He come in there and stopped Riley, and Riley tried to bounce off and go another direction, but he wasn't able to get more than a yard on the play. So 3rd down and 5 as we enter the Next Tech Wireless Red Zone. Next Tech's Wireless Red Zone, lowest rates, flexible plans, exceptional customer service for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to just being a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless. Here comes Kyle Anderson. Oh, he gets tripped up by his own man. He tripped over the feet of Jacob Adams as Jacob had a good block on the defensive end, but Kyle got too close to him and tripped up, and it's going to be 4th down and 3 for the Vikings. Kyle got 2 yards falling forward. We talked about that lunging forward as you're getting tackled. He got some yardage, but maybe not enough. We'll see. It's going to be a tough 4th down for the Vikings here.
Yeah, just the wrong place at the wrong time. Kyle was getting ready to make that cut, and like you pointed out, got hung up there on Jacob Adams' heel, and it's another big 4th down play for the Vikings here. 4th and 3.
Wishbone formation. Heitschmidt takes it, turns it, hands it to Anderson, and he slips and goes down, and they're going to hold. So Halstead holds after a long drive. Vikings turn it over on downs inside the red zone, but the Vikings can't score. And after almost an 8-minute drive.
Yeah, the Vikings holding the ball from about the 10.5-minute mark down to 2.5. Unfortunately, like you said, slipped on that first one, and Halstead football here, 18-yard line as they come out. And, the Vikings have taken advantage now offensively lately, and let's see if our defense can get another stop prior to the half. 2:36 remaining.
Krause under center, run up the middle, coming up the middle. He's got open around, and he's at the 40, 50, 40. It's a foot race. Lane Shrug, the only one that's going to catch him, and he's not going to catch him. It's a 82-yard touchdown run by number 46, Schulte. And that shocks the Viking home crowd. My goodness. From the first play from scrimmage right up the gut. And the Vikings couldn't get it stopped.
Yeah, he had a nice little up-the-gut run there, and it looked like a nice cleared spot for him to be able to hit that gap. And we had a couple of arms on him as he came through and had one attempt to really get him there in the linebacker area. But We weren't able to get him, and very, very fast. Nice big guy, got up the field quickly, and reminds us a lot of Riley Odell. They're going to go to the swinging gate again. It looks like we're going to move over, and Winkle's going to kick this extra point.
So the extra point coming now with, after the 82-yard touchdown burst, high end over end kick looks a little wide, and it is no good. PAT, no good. But Halstead has taken the lead, 13-8. We'll be back with the ensuing kickoff right after this.
At State Farm, when home and auto work together as a team, you score time and money. Call State Farm agent Anthony Hopkins, 785-472-4426 today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Overhead Door Company of North Central Kansas invites you to visit their website at odcnck.com. Once there, you can look over the products that Overhead Door offers for commercial and residential installation and repair. Overhead Door Company services all of North Central Kansas.
The Vikings play here.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field. After the Vikings put together a 10-minute drive, the Halstead answers in one play, 82 yards. How fast did he run that 82 yards?
that was a 17-second or 13-second drive. So let's put that together. Their two scoring drives were a minute and a half and 13 seconds. So they've definitely gotten the job done quickly when they've scored. The Vikings need to take advantage now and be able to turn around and see if they can get something in this next 2:23.
We need some big plays. We've gotten some little great long running plays, but we need to get some more. And there another one goes through the end zone. So Winkle has definitely got a kicker mentality. He puts it a long ways down there. So the Vikings will start down with the 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line, now trailing for the first time tonight, just by 5 points, but it is 13-8.
You know, one of the strengths last year of the Smoky Valley team was the fact that, as you and I covered them later in the year, the events like this never seemed to bother them a whole lot. They just kept doing what they needed to do. They kept running the plays the way they need to run them. And I think that's going to be an early piece right now of trying to see if we can do that again here as we open up the 2017 campaign. Vikings coming out now. Abel out wide. Zion Thomas out wide. Heitschmidt under center.
Motion this time to Zion Thomas, and Zion Thomas has the ball out there. He's going to get up to the ball's down, but they said it, or loose, but they said it was down on contact. Zion Thomas will get about a 5-yard gain on that play. Abilene up on Thomas More Prep by the score of 14-0 after a quarter.
Yeah, Zion Thomas on that play running a little slot sweep. Just a quick handoff from Heitschmidt. 2nd and about 5.
Heitschmidt under center. Here comes Heitschmidt's going to keep it himself. He's got some room. He's trying to get outside. He's across the 30-yard line and wrapped up by Kraus as he gets across the 32-yard line. So good, strong running by Brett Heitschmidt.
Yeah, nice job deciphering his way through there. Got a nice block out here from Zach Abel, it looked like. Was able to free him up. It is going to be 1st and 10 from the 32, a minute 25 and counting.
I formation behind Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt dropping back to pass. He's going to throw it over toward Tim Lambert. He's got a hold of him. He's got it to 40. It's a 30. It's a 20. It's a 10. It's a 5. Touchdown. A 68-yard touchdown pass from Heitschmidt to Tim Lambert. And just that quickly, Lambert just streaked by his defender over there, and Heitschmidt hit him. He had to slow down just a little bit for the ball, but that was a home run. We said we just hadn't got the home run play, and tonight we did it right there.
Yeah, it was a perfect play call. You know, we've run every play so far except for the 1 3-yard pass, and you could see him setting it up. They got a nice split. The fastest guy on our team, Timmy Lambert, on the outside. Little stumble from the Halstead cornerback, and we were able to take off. Vikings set up to go for 2. Heitschmidt under center.
Here comes Kyle Anderson powering in from the side. Good. The 2-point conversion is good. And the Vikings have a 16-13 lead, back with the kickoff right after this. Diet Pepsi.
Game day starts and finishes at Farley's Bar and Grill in downtown Lindsborg. Located at 101 North Main, this upscale, one-of-a-kind establishment offers a wide variety of drink and food specials. Come try their jalapeno poppers, coconut chicken tenders, or their classic Monte Cristo. Then wash it down with an ice-cold beer or tall glass of wine. Farley's Bar and Grill at the corner of Lincoln and Main in downtown Lindsborg. Farley's, your game day headquarters for the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
62. I think it was 62 if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. 68-yard touchdown pass from Brett Heitschmidt to Tim Lambert up the sideline. 2 for 2 now throwing the football this year, and one of them's for a touchdown. So, again, we have that speed on the outside. Like we said, Timmy, one of our fastest guys on the team, if not the fastest, and it was just a great route. Got him on the fade going up the outside, and like you said, he probably had to slow down a step to still catch it, but the stumble by the Halstead defender, once he caught the ball, there was really no catching Tim on the outside. He was like a lightning bolt out of there. Now it's important for the Vikings to finish the half and get a big stop here before we go in.
Raleigh Wilson to kick it off. Another squibber on the ground is going to be covered up by Halstead. So, again, they get good field position. I'm not sure if we're trying to do that or if he's just missing the ball. We don't know anything about their kickers yet. Haven't asked Coach about kicking yet, but a high-end over-end kick is not doing good. That's the 20-yard line that we've gotten the ball at the last 2 times, and they've gotten it at the average about the 45 or 48-yard line. So
a lot of belief in our defense, though. I think we believe very strongly in our defense and that we can get those stops and, maybe not quite as confident yet in our kick coverage as we need to be.
Wide receiver to the right side. That looked like a little motion inside there somewhere. It's going to be the option play. Krause is going to keep it himself and get across midfield. But he'll get about 5 yards to the 49-yard line. Halstead's going to use their first timeout. We'll keep this one right here, as it'll probably be a little shorter timeout than normal. But the Vikings defense has to stiffen here. It can't let Halstead get any big plays, and they're going right back to their big play recipe on that option play. But Krause that time decided to tuck it himself and run it.
Yeah, and like I said, these are 2 very talented teams. We knew this last year from when the 2 faced one another, and I know Smoky really expected to go in and have a much better showing last year at Halstead. I think we're much more confident right now in where we're at as far as how we were at halftime last year. But at the same time, I know we've given up those 2 big plays. But we've also now put together one big play of our own, as well as a number of really strong drives. Again, that last long 7 to 8 minute drive that we had, unfortunately, didn't come to fruition for us. But we've really established the fact that our offense is doing exactly what I think we thought it would do this year, which is be able to methodically move the ball down the field, and hopefully, like we're accustomed to, is wear down those other defenses. And again, I know that's one of Coach Lambert's philosophy, is we want to continue to wear down and beat down that other team as the game continues. Just extremely important, and we know we've got a strong defense as well. Just extremely important that we're able to shut down some of those big plays.
And they've got 9 guys going both ways, so we do 2, but maybe not as many as a key position. So it will wear down their players a little more than ours. So 2nd down and 5 for Halstead. This time they go into that single wing formation. We got Dalton Krause in the wing. Now he goes in motion to the far side. Krause is going to go back to pass, looking deep down the sideline. And the defender, that should be offensive pass interference. They very seldom call offensive pass interference, but great position by Carson Winholtz. He had the inside position, and Mendez tried to go right through him to get to the ball. And again, offensive pass interference is never called, but Carson Winholtz looked like he had position to intercept that ball.
I think a lot of times when you see that happen, they won't call that flag unless that ball is clearly caught by the offense. They're not going to change that a lot.
Power I formation to the wide side of the field this time. Krause under center. He's going to roll out and pass it again. He's under pressure. He dumps it off short. It's caught, but they're going to be tackled right away, but it will be first down yardage. Reception on the play by number 12, Grider. Scott Grider. I think that might be the coach's son. Same name anyway, but they do get the first down. 45 seconds left to go in the first half. Vikings leading 16-13. Need a stop defense. Adams moving outside wider. So does everybody on the inside line. There's a great tackle up front by Conrad Peterson. They're going to tie that bust play up the middle. And it went nowhere as Conrad Peterson met Seidel head on to head on. A little bit slow getting up is Riley Odell from the pile. Riley will have a little bit of a break here as they called timeout. We'll keep this one right here. Riley's going to hobble over to the sideline. Riley probably won't come out unless he absolutely can't walk.
Yeah, these guys have been playing ball for a long time, and they definitely are gamers. They want to be out on the field. It does look like Riley's going to step out for a break. Looks like coming in for him, number 56 right now. Carson Holdren going to see possibly his first action of the evening on the defensive end, but Riley's going to take a step off the side here and get looked at, probably precautionary as we go into the half. Just make sure that he's doing okay.
I mentioned his name. He came in on, I think, a fourth down play before, so he has been in one other time before. I did mention his name and make a mark by his name. But Viking defense needs to step up.
We haven't said Riley's name a lot on defense tonight, and part of that is because of his reputation. I think he's one of those guys that they are definitely trying to attack a lot and try to get him away from the play as much as they can.
Power I formation to the near side, to wide side. Rolling out the far side is Kraus. He's going to dump it off again in the middle, and Lane Schrag is right there, but it is caught by Seidel, number 46, who ran that big touchdown play earlier. Or Schulte. So it's a first down Halstead at the Viking 25-yard line. Now with 23 seconds left, they do have one timeout left. Clock starts to run again. Trying to get out to the outside. Good tackle by the Vikings. Adams slowed him down, and then finishing him off was Kyle Anderson. And now Halstead's going to call their final timeout. They got a good weapon in Winkle, the kicker, so you know that they'll have a chance, but he missed the last extra point, so maybe the short range and accuracy isn't his thing, but long distance is his thing.
He's definitely got a leg, and he can definitely kick it quite a ways. I would expect here with 13.8 seconds left to see Halstead probably look for a little one of those play action looks and see if they can hit the big guy going down the middle again. It seems to be something that works out well. It's always been that traditional play for them. A number of years ago, they always used to have that little little quarterback that would just throw that really quick tight end look, and they've got a nice sized tight end here as well, and I think that might be a look for them here with just a little bit of time left in the half. But the Vikings are definitely kind of holding their own here and making sure they're putting together a nice defensive effort. And, it was a short field to start out with, but yet they're still grinding away. And now it's just a matter of putting it together and see if they can get them shut down here from the 22.
Well, even though the clock will stop with a first down, if they get a first down, they just aren't going to be able to go across the middle or in the middle. So whatever play they're going to run is going to be to the outside, whether it be the option or a pass. So my guess is it's going to be a foul. They're going to go for a field goal right here. So Kraus is down for the hold. They're going to go for a field goal right here with 13 seconds left and not take any chances. Will the accuracy work? It's going to be a 37-yard field goal. High end-over-end kick. It's up high enough. It is good. And Halstead ties the game up with 8.3 seconds left to go on a 37-yard field goal.
That was a very nice kick. Again, we talked about him missing that extra point earlier, but nice height on this one. He was able to get the ball from the right hash back to the middle and completed a nice little play here. Wasn't a long drive for Halstead. Again, they started out here about their own 46 or around the 49, actually, in that area. And then they were able to drive down there and be able to kick the field goal, as you said, from about 37 yards out. So a 16-all tie. We're right back to where we started.
Absolutely, and the Vikings will get the kickoff of the first half, so that's the one good thing about deferring in that opening kickoff is that you get it on the second half, but you never know with Dion Thomas, a good speedster, and Tim Lambert back there, whether they'll kick it far. Winkle has kicked it out of the end zone the last two times he's kicked it, so we'll see if he'll get it out of the end zone this time or not. There's absolutely no wind, just an absolutely gorgeous evening.
Yeah, two pretty fast guys back there for the Vikings. Unfortunately, as you pointed out, he's kicked them both out of the end zone the last two times. So it'll be interesting to see if we can get a return on this one.
We will see. Gets the okay from the man with the white hat and approaches the ball. Driving kick this time, and Lambert's going to go ahead and let it go. He could have jumped up and got that, but he decided to go ahead and let it go. And the Vikings have 4.5 seconds to go. And, well, are you a gunslinger and you throw a chance up and you throw one over the outside to Lambert again, or do you just run it up the middle and get your play in and go to the locker room with a tie ball game?
I think knowing us, and you got to feel really good right now at 16-0. You got to feel like it's a pretty good scenario. So I think you definitely just put the ball down, take a knee, and you head in, and you start to continue to make those adjustments and try to shut down what Halstead's able to do.
The man in the white hat is waiting for something. I don't know what they're waiting for. He had a talk with Coach. They don't have the right clock. It must have started. We got to get the clock reset to the right number here. 8.3, because it didn't hit anybody, so it didn't take a move. So they got it reset now. It's 8.3 seconds left to go, and now we'll see what the Vikings are going to do. It wouldn't have mattered if they maybe are going to do some kind of a play then.
This will cause a razzle-dazzle play to come out now with those extra 4 seconds.
Absolutely, yeah. So that will be it. Halftime is here, and our score is 16-16. We'll be back to wrap up this first half for you and have the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine halftime show right after this.
Area high school athletes now have a big home field advantage. The new Salina Regional Sports Medicine Clinic. Led by orthopedic surgeon Dr. Timothy Hawks, Salina Regional Sports Medicine offers comprehensive care from education to prevent sports.
The Wildfires would like to thank all the sponsors who helped us go to camp this year. They are Ameriprise Financial Services, Vanning Chiropractic, Collections and Essentials, Eagle Alignment and Automotive, Lindsberg Tropical Snow, Mindful Matters Salina, Money Automotive, Money Chevrolet, People's Bank and Trust, Rogers Contract Pumping, Rogers Renovations, Stevenson Construction Incorporated, and the Ranch House in Marquette. The Wildfires will be dancing tonight to the top 40s mix. They are Captain Danny Rogers, Captain Peyton Stevenson, Heather Schreiner, Patty Enyart, Taylor Barnes, Whitney Johnson, Carissa Kendall-Sparger, Elena McMillan, and Carrie Elliott.
It go like ooh, ooh, hey, hey, turn up, ooh, ooh, hey, hey, turn up, ooh, ooh, hey, hey, turn up, ooh, ooh, hey, hey, turn up. Tap to the right, double tap to the left, so you're out sometimes. Yo, dance, switch to the other side. Bring it up to the right, bring it out to the left. Go to the right 2 times, hey, look to the left, get on your chest now, go on, break it down.
Great job, Wildfires!
68-yard Heitschmidt to Lambert pass, so 2 really big impact performances of the first half.
Exactly, and it's been a fun first half. It's been a great first half for big plays. It's been a great first half for good, quality, controlled offense. We've had some really strong hits out there as well, from both sides. So again, both teams kind of get their legs under them, kind of getting that first feel for what that 2017 season. Now that first half's under their belt, very interesting score here at 16-all, and the fact that it's pretty much a clean slate as we come out in the second. It's going to be really interesting to see which team makes those adjustments that they need to make in the second half, and how Smoky Valley is able to come out and respond to the things that Halstead was able to do to them in the first half.
The Vikings started out the game on defense. Halstead 3 and out and gave the ball to the Vikings, and they put together a 58-yard drive, scoring with 3:56 left to go in the first quarter. Kyle Anderson took it in on 4th down from the 3-yard line. He also got the 2-point conversion, and the Vikings led at the 5:33 mark by the score of 8-0. But the Halstead got the ball right back, and late in the quarter, well, actually not much later, at the 3:51 mark of the first quarter, a 1-yard run by Kraus after a 2-play 53-yard drive set up the 1-yard run. The point after kick was good, and with 3:51 left to go in the first quarter, it was 8-7 Vikings on top. Then the Vikings went on a methodical over 10-minute drive or 8-minute drive, but came up empty, turning it over on downs inside the Next Tech Wireless red zone. And Halstead got the ball back and answered with an 82-yard one-play drive. Schulte on that run right up the middle avoided a couple of would-be Viking tacklers and then won the foot race from midfield on. And Halstead then, the point after kick was no good, and Halstead took a 13-8 lead. But the Vikings, well, they decided they weren't going to be shut out or stopped either. Heitschmidt hooked up with Tim Lambert on a 68-yard touchdown pass at the 2:23 mark, or excuse me, at the 1:14 mark. Halstead had just scored at the 2:23 mark. Vikings answered back at the 1:14 mark. A 2-point conversion run by Anderson gave the Vikings a 16-13 lead with 1:14 left to go in the half. But then Halstead, the recipient of a short kick from the Vikings, got the ball down, and a 37-yard field goal by Winkle with 8 seconds left to go in the quarter tied the game up at 16-16, and I'm sure you got some stats for us.
Yeah, I think the most intriguing stat of the whole first half is that Halstead has scored 3 times, and of those 3 times, the first drive was 1 minute and 42 seconds, the second one was 13 seconds, and the third one was that 1:06 drive here at the end to get the field goal. The Vikings have 195 yards of total offense in the first half, 188 for Halstead. The Vikings 31 plays to Halstead's 20, so Halstead has definitely maximized their amount of plays. The Vikings 2 for 2 passing for 71 yards. Heitschmidt, of course, hitting a short 3-yarder to Jacob Adams on the opening drive, and then hitting that 68-yard bomb to Tim Lambert up the sideline for the Vikings' second score. Overall rushing, Halstead 163 yards, spearheaded by 88 yards from the, what was the name of that kid again? Kraus. No, not Kraus. It was Schulte. Schulte, of course, with that 82-yard play there, and then another 6 yards sprinkled around. The Vikings, meanwhile, 124 yards off of 29 carries. But the interesting thing here is with that big long run that the Halstead Dragons had there, averaging about 10.2 yards per rush. The Halstead Dragons only thrown for 25 yards, but they were very poignant plays. They were able to set themselves up very well with a couple of their passes and do a nice job there. Interestingly, no turnovers for either team in the first half. I know the Vikings were, 4 down there, but other than that, no turnover plays, nothing that's really swayed the momentum other than big plays. The big stat, I think, of the half, and what we talked about earlier, the Vikings had the ball for 15 minutes and 30 seconds compared to only 8 minutes and 22 seconds for Halstead. So if the Viking offense can continue to wear down the Halstead defense, I think we could see a healthy dose of Riley, Kyle, Timmy, a lot of those guys just being able to continue
Brett calling his own number.
Exactly. And then even Cord Elliott out of the backfield, too. We're going to see a lot. Individual for the Halstead Dragons, Dalton Kraus, 2 for 4, 25 yards passing. Schulte, 4 carries, 88 yards. Caden Kraus, 6 carries, 69 yards. If you remember, a lot of his carries were on those option plays in the early part of the game. Dalton Kraus, the quarterback, 4 carries, 4 yards. A couple of those were some negative plays along the way. Number 21, Jonathan Fulgham, has 3 yards, and Eric Probst, -1. Receiving-wise for the Halstead Dragons, Schulte, 1 grab, 18 yards. Scott Greider, 1 grab for 7 yards. For the Vikings, on the other hand, Brett Heitschmidt, as we said, 2 for 2, 71 yards, and that touchdown pass. Kyle Anderson rushing the ball 11 times, 55 yards. He also has the other Viking touchdown. Brent Heitschmidt, 4 carries, 23 yards. Tim Lambert, 6 for 23. Riley Odell, 7 carries for 18 yards. Has yet to really get that big stick through the middle, as Halstead is really, really keying on him on the inside. And, of course, Zion Thomas had 1 carry for 5 yards on the little slot sweep. Defensively for the Vikings, Tim Lambert has 3 tackles on the night. Of course, Timmy also the 1 grab for 68 yards and the touchdown receiving. Jacob Adams 1 for 3. Lane Schrod, 3 tackles on the night. Zach Abel with 2. Conrad Peterson with 2. Court Elliott, Kyle Anderson, Riley Odell, Carson Windholtz, and Kai Shugren all with 1 as well. Can't say enough about our offensive line tonight. Grosland, Shugren, Burks, Peterson, Wampler, and of course Jacob Adams out there at the tight end spot. They have done a phenomenal job. I'm sorry, not Burks. Burks is out. Riley Mader. Had Riley in class. He'd give me a hard time on Monday if he heard that, or on Tuesday. So again, those guys doing a fantastic job up front, but I think we also have to point out the other side. Our defensive line has been equally strong. They've been really doing a nice job of sticking the ball inside there, and of course that's Adams, Peterson, Wampler, and again Kai Shugren on the outside. So I just think it's been a really well-played first half of football. I think both teams, and again, that's evidenced by the fact no turnovers, some really strong drives from both teams, and some very nice big plays from both teams as well.
They're absolutely doing a super job. Again, I want to thank the sponsors that help us with our portion of the broadcast, including Dower Welding, Lindsberg Family Dental, Phoenix Restoration, People's Bank and Trust, CNL Cooling and Heating, Smoky Valley Chiropractic, Dr. Darrell Loader. Contact Mari Loader for all your Smoky Valley real estate needs, R&R Excavating, Viking Auto, Scott's, Harry Malary, and Art Shirt. We'll be back with more halftime right after this.
95.5 The Rock.
Turn your radio loud.
KVOB, Lindsborg, Salina, McPherson.
Arn Reinert, CPA, LLC, provides tax and accounting services. Farley's Bar and Grill in downtown Lindsborg is your game day headquarters. Come try their Monte Crisco or other specialty menu items. Farley's Bar and Grill, located at 101 North Main Street in Lindsborg, proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
Yeah, sure, the weather may be enjoyable now, but those brisk icy winds aren't far away. Keep Jack Frost out of your garage, out of your home, and most importantly, out of your pockets. Let Overhead Door eliminate those pesky air leaks with a cold weather tune-up for the biggest opening of your home, your garage door. This month, Overhead Door Company is offering a 20% discount on all top side.
Salina Central over Andover 7-6 at half. Salina South 7, Valley Center 0 at the half. Sacred Heart 27-6 over Minneapolis. And our score here, Smoky Valley and Halstead all knotted up at 16-16. Other scores around the league, the only one I found so far is Pratt over Larned by the score of 14-0. Pratt, again, with Jamie Cruz former Bethany coach and former Bethany player, defending 4A state champion. They're the ones that defeated the Vikings in the playoffs last year, so they're looking to get their season started, and the Vikings will have an interest in that game because we go to Larned next week, a long road trip next week.
Yes, we do. And speaking of formers, we had a response from a former player a little bit ago that this field was not installed until 08. Adam Lackey pointing out that he still has scars from the 07 season of a rough field. So I did ask him to send me some photos so we could share them on air with everybody, but I'm trying to see if he catches on to that quick enough. But no, seriously, though, Pratt, what a great season last year from them. They were phenomenal. Our guys were able to compete extremely well in that last game, but they just had so many horses, such a great team, and again, finished their season so well. What a great league for us last year. You have Heston going down to the wire as well. Of course, Smoky Valley here, Pratt, number of great teams. And like you said, Larned next week, and that was one of the teams last year I know coming in here to Anderson Field, we were a little scared about. They had some big horses. They had some guys that were new to the school there, and we weren't quite sure what to expect. I still remember a little fake punt they ran against us here, too, kind of setting the stage early in the game. But I think that was one of our first games where we really kind of established ourselves in that ability that we've fostered all the way through the Coach Lambert system here. Is we're just going to be extremely methodical. We're going to continue to plug and plug and plug throughout. And I think that's what we were able to do. But, it's definitely going to be a big trip for us next weekend. Obviously, we have another half of football to take care of here. But next Friday's trip to Larned, our longest trip of the year that we'll have prior to the playoffs, obviously. But it'll be a test, as this second half will be a test for us as well.
McPherson up in the second quarter. I got a text from Lucky Kid. McPherson 13 over Buhler. That's like a top one versus 3 or something like that going on down at Buhler. So I know Mac went 0-2 last year in their first 2 games between Mays South and Buhler. So they're looking to their defense must be playing really well, because I think Buhler they just got a sensational team down there. So that's a big score for McPherson so far. But
a huge rivalry game too. I'm sure that place is packed right now. Are they playing at Buhler or at Mac?
Buhler? Yeah,
at Buhler. So I'm sure it's packed. I would definitely expect that Buhler will have something for him in the second half yet as time goes on. But that's always a big, big game for those guys.
Now it's 19-0 at halftime. Update on that score. So that is a big one for McPherson. They've set the last 3 minutes on the clock again. We'll take our final 2-minute timeout. We'll be back with third quarter action. You're listening to Smoky Valley Football. 16-16 tie here at halftime. Back right after this.
Area high school athletes now have a big home field advantage. The new Salina Regional Sports Medicine Clinic. Led by orthopedic surgeon Dr. Timothy Hawks, Salina Regional Sports Medicine offers comprehensive care, from education to prevent sports injuries, to performance, to the preservation and healing of damaged joints through surgery and rehabilitation. Fellowship trained in sports medicine orthopedic surgery, Dr. Hawks specializes in the diagnosis and treatment of ligament, cartilage, and meniscus injuries. He and his team of physical therapists, athletic trainers, and his physician assistants support 5 area high schools, providing the highest quality, most timely care to athletes of every sport. In the school training facility, on the field, or in our clinic, we're ready wherever and whenever you need us. From high school athletes to weekend warriors, we'll help you get back in the game and keep you in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, the leader in comprehensive sports medicine.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by the Bank of Tesket. Generations of confidence, relationships for life. With locations in Lincoln, Salina, Tesket, and Lindsborg. The Bank of Tesket. Member FDIC.
We're the Bank of Tesket.
The Quarterback Club of Lindsborg is proud to support athletics in the Smoky Valley. Join us each Tuesday at 7 a.m. in the Bethany College cafeteria to hear from all the Vikings and Swedes sports coaches.
Bethany College Swedes succeed. Bethany students lead lives of faith, learning, and service as they find their own pathways on Bethany's beautiful campus that's filled with opportunities to get involved with art, music, theater, athletics, service learning, sustainability, leadership, global citizenship, and more. Swedes succeed in their careers and their communities. Learn more at www.bethanylb.edu.
You're listening to Smoky Valley Vikings Athletics.
And welcome back to Lindstrom Brothers Field on the campus of Bethany College. Don Binks along with Doug Snyder here as the Vikings get ready to take the opening kickoff of the second half. I don't know which end they'll take. It won't make any difference. I mean, it's absolutely a still perfect night for football. I didn't actually look at the temperature.
It feels great. It's just very stagnant. You know, I think up inside here, inside the booth, it's one of those nights where it's a little toasty, but I think out on the field and out in the air, I think it's just a beautiful night of football. You said about 76?
Mm-hmm.
You can't really ask for a much nicer night. It was cool prior to kickoff as well, which I think added to that and made it to where it wasn't very muggy this evening. So, again, great night to get things started here at Smoky Valley and on the campus of Bethany College, and great opportunity here for the Vikings as they're going to receive this opening kickoff of the second half.
I tried to write temperatures down on some of the games, and 2 years ago it was 93 degrees. I know I've written down some 100 and some degrees, so
76 is much nicer. I'm not here to tell you.
Absolutely.
I do my best to bring you the best weather possible.
Well, you did a great job. Winkle will kick it off. Vikings will be heading from north to south. Lambert and Thomas are back at the end zone. See where Winkle's kick goes here. He is ready. The man in the white hat has given the signal, and we're ready to go. High end-over-end kick. Lambert is going to watch it bounce about 7 yards deep in the end zone.
That's
what a weapon.
4 kicks for him, 4 touchbacks. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Vikings will get started from the 20 here to open the second half. Again, great first half traveling down the field for them. Some extended drives, 15 minutes of total offense, or approximately 15 minutes of total offense. It'll be important for them to continue that here in the second half and continue to wear down that Halstead defensive line.
Looks like it'll be the same starters that we had in the backfield. Heitschmidt under center. This time they'll go I formation with Odell and Anderson. Got Thomas and Abel as wide receivers. Heitschmidt's going to keep it himself, and he's going to lose yardage. So first down play, they look like they made some adjustments on that play, or they really diagnosed that one particular play as Heitschmidt drops it for 2-yard loss on the opening play of the second quarter, or second half. So the Vikings are faced with second down and 12.
Did a great job hitting that gap. Larson, I think that was Gage Larson for Halstead. It looked like a slant left for him. Looked like it was a fake handoff to Riley up the gut. And he just got right back on Brett and was able to take him down for a loss of 2.
Lambert and Thomas are wide each way for Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt dropping back to pass. Little slant to Lambert. Got it. Caught. First down yardage at the 33-yard line. So a quick slant by Lambert and a great pad, a little low, but Lambert goes down and makes a nice catch. And the Vikings get a first down. After losing 1 or 2 on that first play, the pass props them up. Vikings are underutilizing Brett Heitschmidt's ability to throw the ball, but in Coach Lambert's offense, it's a run-oriented offense. Wide receiver Abel to the near side, I formation. Here comes Kyle Anderson trying the left side. He's going to get tripped up, maybe a yard gain on the play. We'll see where they end up spotting it, but their defense against the run has stiffened up. Vikings may have to pass a little bit more.
Yeah, like you said, underutilized, but at the same time, the way this offense is designed, it's a run-first offense. I think the biggest thing right now is Brett's being put in positions where he's making great decisions. He's putting the ball on target, and he has the ability to do that.
2 receivers near side, Thomas and Abel. I formation, Heitschmidt under center. Dropping back to pass, little inside to Abel. Abel's a little tripped up and gets tripped up about the 39-yard line, so he'll pick up about 5 yards on the play. Third down now and 4, long 4 for the Vikings. Ball resting on the 39-yard line. They got to get to the 44.
Again, another nice pass play set up. Very high percentage, and the Vikings pick up 5.
43, is where they need to go. So it is third down and 4. Double tight, wishbone formation. Here comes Kyle Anderson near side. He's going to be running hard. Drops the ball. Got loose. Halstead says they have it. And what do the officials say? The officials haven't signaled yet. It is first down Halstead. So what was a no turnover game has now turned into the Halstead favor as Kyle Anderson, a rare fumble. I don't know if Kyle fumbled it more than once or twice all year last year, but an Anderson fumble.
Yeah, it looked like Dalton Krause coming out of the pile there with that. It looked like it just squirted out right at the last second. It looked like it might have gotten a hit directly on the football. So Smoky Valley has the first turnover of the night, and hopefully their defense can step up and stop them right here.
Power I formation. Here comes Krause on the, and they put the ball on the ground. Krause ends up getting it, Caden Krause, but not before it goes back across midfield to about the 43-yard line. Well, it's going to be a loss of nearly 10 yards, maybe more than 10, maybe 11 yards on the play. So now all of a sudden, it's tick for tack, but their tick and our tack a little bit different because they maintain possession of the ball, but it's second down and 21-yard line, so it was a loss of 11 on the play. Ball all the way back across midfield to the 44-yard line. Power I formation to the short side of the field. Krause is going to hand it off to the first guy up the middle, and he's got across midfield. He'll get all the fumble yardage back. It's going to be third down now and about 10 or 11. See where they end up spotting it. Looks like they're going to spot it right at the 45-yard line. So the big number 46 in there on that run, Schulte.
He has been a horse against the Vikings tonight, done a nice job running the football, and again, as you pointed out, picks up the 11 yards that were lost on the fumble, and they're going to be back to 3rd and 10 now.
Viking defense needs to stiffen here. After you turn the ball over, you want to keep them from getting a first down. A big third down play here. Krause will go under center. Dalton Krause, his younger brother, Caden Krause, the tailback, the power I to the right. It's second man through, has got the ball, and real good tackle by the Vikings, number 55 there.
That's Kai Shugren on that hit.
Dropping down from his end position, and he wrapped up big number 21 with the ball. That's Fulgham, and he was stopped for no gain on the play, maybe a half a yard. So 4th and a long 9.
Kai Shugren hitting that gap extremely hard, reading the play, and it looks like Halstead's going to choose to punt this, hopefully for the field position out of this and pushing the Vikings back deep.
Winkle to punt. Good snap. High kick. Abel going to let it bounce at the 10. Takes a Viking bounce back to the 15 before it's deadened. But he's got that backspin on the ball, but it's been helping the Vikings right now so far. So that'll be 1st and 10, Smoky Valley. So they dodged the bullet there by getting Halstead to get a 3 and out after getting that fumble recovery. So that was a huge defensive set for the Vikings.
Yeah, big fumble to open up by the Vikings here in the first possession they had. But, of course, Halstead gave it right back to us there with the 11-yard loss, and that really helped set us up to be able to get the ball back. So 1st and 10 Vikings. Looks like they're at the 15-yard line.
Wishbone formation behind Heitschmidt. He turns and hands it off to, well, I couldn't see who got the ball that time. I don't know if it was Riley.
Like Cord Elliott.
Like Cord Elliott might have got the ball that time. He'll get a couple yards right up the middle, up to the, they're going to not get a very favorable spot. Only going to give him 1 yard on that play. So 2nd down and 9 for the Smoky Valley Vikings. Not a great set of lights here at Anderson Stadium.
We'll blame it on the lights and not our eyes.
Well, we need a professional spotting team here so we can give us a.
It's the angle. It's the angle.
Yeah. It's the angle and the glare. Maybe we should wash the windows. Heitschmidt rolling out the pass, still rolling. Going to drop it downfield, and it's intercepted. No, drop. Having his hands on the ball was Mendez. Noah Mendez had his hands on it, but the intended receiver, Lambert, was there. And Zion Thomas kind of between both of them a little bit. And Mendez had his hands on it, but he got hit right away and spun off his own man and wasn't able to secure that interception. So 3rd down and 9 now. Ball at the 16-yard line. Call it the 17. 3 receivers to the near side. Shotgun formation. Heitschmidt catches it off to Lambert. Lambert ticking it upfield. Is he enough? So close. I believe he's got it. I believe he has the first down. Great burst of speed by Lambert. Just kind of a little flare out of the backfield. Lambert is underrated on his speed. He gets there quickly.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's underrated. He's just fast. I mean, he gets there. But that's a nice little flood play the Vikings run and are able to get him out in the flat and let him do something with that speed. And sure enough, able to pick up the first down at the 27.
Big 9-yard gain or 10-yard game. Here comes Elliott again, running hard across the 30 up to the 31-yard line. So Court Elliott running hard. I saw Beck here tonight. He's going to Hayes as a long snapper, wasn't he? But maybe they have a weekend off before their first game then?
I'm not sure. I think it might be a travel weekend. I'm not sure if I don't know how that works out there at Fort Hayes.
I was just surprised to see him anyway. I know he went to Fort Hayes as a long snapper. Here comes Court Elliott again, running hard. He gets up near the 40-yard line, so he's got first down yardage. 2 Court Elliott carries in a row, gets the Vikings to move the chains once again. So Elliott running hard now. I don't know if is Riley back in there even. He was kind of limping right there before half. He is down here on the sideline right
Still
now.
Off on the side right now. Might be giving him a little breather and holding him out a little bit and getting him ready to go for late in the game.
Well, Court Elliott's got some strength too. The wrestler. Here comes Kyle Anderson trying to get outside. He's wrapped up. Big number 46 has been in the Viking backfield as of late. Schulte I think he must be spying on Kyle Anderson because he's been in Kyle Anderson's hip pocket here now for the last 2 or 3 plays.
When you have running backs the likes of Kyle Anderson and Riley Odell.
1,400 and some yards, Kyle Anderson.
I think that was definitely on Halstead's radar coming in. I think those are 2 guys they were watching very closely. But like we said before, the depth of the Vikings, the fact that Court Elliott can come in, Tim Lambert can come in, and they can both provide a yardage for you, I think that's huge.
Elliott and Anderson in I formation. Slot is Zion Thomas. Heitschmidt rolling out. He's got a little help. Here comes Adams with the catch. Adams turns it upfield, and Adams gets across the 45 up to about the 47-yard line. About a yard short of the first down, but there's another weapon in Jacob Adams. That's his first reception of the night, but Jacob Adams has good hands as well.
Yeah, I think Jacob does a phenomenal job. He always has. He's got beautiful hands. We see that on the basketball court as well. But a great drop-off pass to him, and then he ran the ball hard to get it out to the 48.
Windholtz wide to the far side. Zion Thomas in the slot on the near side. Elliott and Anderson behind Heitschmidt. Quick turn and a handoff to Elliott. Elliott powering his way up the middle. He's got midfield, and that's what he needed for the first down. He needed the 49. He got to the 50. So Court Elliott moves the chains for the Vikings once again. And what you said, the Vikings are dominating the line of scrimmage. That Kyle Anderson fumble was certainly a little glitch in the offense, but Vikings have had the ball almost all of this fourth quarter. There's 4 minutes left now. Still a 16-16 tie. You don't get any points for time of possession.
No, you don't, but you really hope that time of possession pays off late in the game.
Heitschmidt turns, hands it off. No, he's going to keep it himself, trying to get outside, but Halstead snuffed that play out. That follow, Schulte is just having a big second half so far.
We were talking about Krause the entire first half making all the tackles, and now Schulte's all over the place here in the second. So they are definitely reading what the Vikings are trying to do on the edges right now.
He's playing defensive end, I believe, as Krause is playing free safety, so it takes a little while for Krause to get up there.
Vikings going to have a 2nd and 11 now as they get going. Got doubles here to the right side in Lambert and Carson Windholtz.
I formation behind Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt dropping back to pass. Little quick bump in the middle. Talked about Jacob Adams. Boy, he really got hung out to dry there. He was kind of triple teamed, a little hot read right up the middle, and unable to make that complete. So it's going to be 3rd down and 11 right now.
Yeah, the ball was just a smidge high for him to be able to get up to, and he did get his left hand on it, but it was a little bit up there, and he took a pretty good shot, but he's all right as he heads back to the huddle. Looks like Hebel heading in now, Timmy Lambert heading in as the Vikings get ready for a 3rd and 11 play here.
See what formation they come out in. Wishbone formation. They've gone a little bit different thing. Here comes Heitschmidt rolling out near side, still rolling. Got Kyle Anderson. He's got a catch. He's got first down yardage, and down to the 35-yard line. He goes sliding over the top of the would-be tacklers. Great little play there. A big pickup for the Vikings, and they have it 1st and 10 now in Halstead territory at the 35-yard line.
Nice little dump-off play there. a little bit of a rollout. And on the rollout, it looked like the corner and the defensive end both bit hard on Heitschmidt, and then he was able to dump it right over the top to Anderson, and Anderson was able to take the ball down to the 35 for the first down.
Wishbone formation. Here comes Kyle Anderson again. He's powering his way down to the 33-yard line. He'll get 2.5, maybe 3 yards on the carry. Kyle becoming a little more involved in the offense now. That's good to go right back to somebody, though, after they've fumbled. Don't want them to have time to think about it. Just get them right in there for that work.
And I think the Vikings are doing a great job utilizing a number of players here, kind of getting the ball away from Kyle for a couple of plays and then being able to go back with him. You kind of lose sight of guys like that after a while.
Wishbone formation again. Here comes Kyle Anderson. Here comes pushing and shoving and power running by Kyle Anderson, dragging a couple of would-be tacklers with him down to the 28, 27-yard line. 3rd down and 2 for the Vikings, nearing the Next Tech Wireless red zone.
Nice hard running by Kyle. He had to kind of pick his way through a couple of players in there, and he did a great job. And then it was just a matter of doing what Kyle does well, and that's bowling over a couple of guys for the last couple of yards.
I formation this time. Here comes Cord Elliott running hard. He across the 25 down to the 23 for another first down.
And this is one of those long drives we talked about that the Vikings were so capable of putting together and did in the first half. We had that tremendous drive there. This is the one we're going to need to make sure we can finish this drive off and get that ball in the end zone here.
Thomas and Winholtz come in for the Vikings. A little late getting the play in, but there's still 12 seconds left on the play clock. They each go out in a wide receiver in a slot formation, I formation behind Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt turns, hands it off to Anderson. Anderson with the inside the red zone run, still powering, and goes head over heels down to about the 18 or 17-yard line. He picks up 7 yards on that play. The last 2 or 3 with a handstand, almost a headstand. He is power running right now, Kyle Anderson.
So fun to watch these Vikings run the football because, like you said, and like we talked about earlier, every single one of them is leaning forward. We're always picking up that 1 or 2 extra yards after contact, and Kyle did exactly that there. It'll be second and about 4 for the Vikings here on this play.
Wishbone formation. Here comes Lambert. Now he's going to be caught behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose a yard on the play. So Lambert decided they must have snuffed that play out. They're inside the Next Tech Wireless red zone.
Looks like a flag toss at the end of this play, too. It'll be interesting to see what the call is.
Lowest rates, flexible plans, exceptional customer service for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to just being in numbers. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless, Smoky Valley, inside the red zone. And it's an unsportsmanlike conduct play again on Halstead. So Vikings are going to get a first down yardage by penalty. And that's the 4th or 5th penalty on Halstead.
It is, and that's really been something that has really bit them tonight. Here's a situation where they get a great stop, one of the first stops they've had here in this early part or late part of the third quarter, and then they turn around and give it all back by committing the senseless unsportsmanlike conduct penalty here and allowing the Vikings to move down the field.
I guess the bad thing for the Vikings, it makes it 1st and goal. That's a good thing, but it's at the 9-yard line. So you got a lot of real estate to make up with just 3 plays. And the Vikings are going to let the quarter run out. So the quarter is going to end. No score in the third quarter. We'll head to the fourth quarter, 16-16, back right after this.
Whether it's a cup of joe first thing in the morning, lunch with friends, or dinner with the family, Mocha's Cafe has you covered. Fresh coffee, lattes, sandwiches, and more. Mocha's has 2 locations in Salina, 916 East Crawford and 2424 South 9th, next to Dick's Sporting Goods.
Auburn Pharmacy is your local hometown Lindsborg pharmacy, located at 216 North Harrison Street, proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
This is a Smoky Valley Vikings broadcast.
Well, it'd have to be the 18 because it went to the 9.
Right.
And welcome back to Bethany College, Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field for the fourth quarter again. The Remax Advantage Realtor Scoreboard Show Don't miss the Remax Advantage Realtor Scoreboard Show tonight from 10 to 11 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL. Get a recap of this game, scores from the other area, and other wraps from the Rockingham media stations. That's the Remax Advantage Realtor Scoreboard Show from 10 to 11 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL.
Vikings started this drive at the 7:23 mark of the third quarter and used the entire rest of the third quarter on offense. And now we're coming out here first and goal from the 9 after the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So it'll be, like I said, extremely important for them to be able to stick this thing in the end zone.
And it started at the 15-yard line, so this is going to be an 85-yard drive. I formation behind Heichschmidt. Turn and hand it off to Court Elliott. Court Elliott just blasting his way inside. He took 2 tacklers with him. Number 54, that was Elijah Bridges. He's 203. And big number 76, the tall guy, Seibel, he's 268. So he took those 2 guys, and Court Elliott weighs in at 195. So he took double his weight for 3 yards inside the 5-yard line. So second down and goal from the 5 for the Vikings. Court Elliott is just running sensational right now. I formation, slot left. Here comes Kyle Anderson. He's got some room. He's got near the goal line. No, they're going to say inches away. The linesman on this side pointing to the line. He wasn't going to give him, but he's got... It's in the shadow of the goal line. So two 4-yard runs gets the first 8 yards, and now the Vikings have it third and goal from the back end of the football is inside the 1-yard line.
I think that's about as close as you can get it without being in.
Yeah, absolutely. Heichschmidt, I would suspect Heichschmidt taking this in on his own to see if Riley Mader can get him a block. No, he's going to hand it off. He's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Who took it? Court Elliott, I believe. Court Elliott takes it in from the 1-yard line at the 10:41 mark.
What a great drive by the Vikings. You said it, 85 yards in what looks like to be around 9 minutes that the Vikings were able to take off the clock. And now they're going to be able to have the chance to go for 2 here as they bring in their other guns here. Looks like Zion Thomas, Tim Lambert, and Zach Abel coming in probably to spread the field a little bit. What a great drive. That was so much fun.
Now Kyle Anderson's not in. It's Elliott and Lambert in the backfield behind Heichschmidt. It's a toss to Lambert near side, trying to go up the middle, trying to cut a line, and he's got it. 2-point conversion is good. Tim Lambert takes it in for the PAT, and the Vikings lead by the score of 24-16, and we'll be back with the ensuing kickoff right after this.
Yeah, sure, the weather may be enjoyable now, but those brisk, icy winds aren't far away. Keep Jack Frost out of your garage, out of your home, and, most importantly, out of your pockets. Let Overhead Door eliminate those pesky air leaks with a cold weather tune-up for the biggest opening of your home, your garage door. This month, Overhead Door Company is offering a 20% discount on all top, side, and bottom seals with installation. Overhead Door Company of North Central Kansas in Salina and McPherson. Online at odcnck.com.
The Vikings play here.
Again, I want to thank Scott's, Harry Malary, R&R Excavating. Contact Mari Loader for your Smoky Valley real estate needs. Dr. Darrell Loader, Smoky Valley Chiropractic, C&L Heating and Cooling, Lindbergh Family Dental, Phoenix Restoration, People's Bank and Trust, Gallant Tire and Auto, and Dower Welding and Machine for helping us with our portion of the broadcast. Vikings take an 85-yard drive. Actually, other than the 3 plays that Halstead had when they got the ball after the turnover, the Vikings have had it the whole second half.
Yeah, they have. 25 minutes of offense for the Vikings.
High end-over-end kick, a fair catch is going to be called for and taken at the 25-yard line. So Raleigh Wilson at least gets it 20 yards farther down the field. Even though it was a fair catch, it's a good one. And the Vikings now force Halstead to take it 75 yards for the score.
I mean, that is just unheard of to me. 25 minutes of offense for the Vikings to 10 minutes for Halstead to this point. And again, those are 2 extremely long drives the Vikings had down the field, as well as their very first drive, which was also a long drive. So now it's a matter, our defense has only run 3 plays this half. It's time for them to get a big stop here.
Power I formation to the near side, short side of the field. First guy through has got the ball. He gets up to the 30-yard line, so a gain of about 3, maybe 4. Schulte on the carry. Trying to see who our linebackers are. It looks like it's Court Elliott and Kyle Anderson and Riley Mader. So Riley Odell not playing on defense either at the moment. So it
looks like he's out. Can't tell if there's anything wrong. He seems to be standing on the sidelines. Just might be, again, some precaution.
Here comes the tailback. That's Kraus with the ball, I believe. No, it's number 21.
Fulgham, I believe. Is that it?
Fulgham with the ball. He gets about 3. It's going to be 3rd down and 3 for Halstead. Ball will be at the 34-yard line. The Vikings need to come up with a big stop right here. This late in the game, and as good as the Vikings are running the ball control, Halstead, this may be 4-down territory for Halstead. Wide receiver to the near side, that's number 15. Here's Schulte, the first guy through, and he's going to get the first down. I believe he just powered his way enough up to get the first down. So first down, Halstead, ball across the 35, but nearing the 37-yard line. So they get a first down on their first possession of the fourth quarter. This is only their second possession of the second half, so the Vikings just phenomenal how we've talked about their time of possession.
It's just amazing, isn't it? I mean, it's only their 5th play they've run.
24-16, Vikings lead at the 9:08 mark. Ball's loose on the ground. Vikings say they have it. Vikings say they have it. The officials have yet to signal. Nope. Halstead got on it, but the ball got away from Schulte, I believe. And they got about a yard gain on the play. A couple of Vikings thought one of their teammates had it inside of there. But it's number 56 in there in the middle of that line. That is Carson Holdren and Conrad Peterson in the middle. Ethan Wampler, not Conrad Peterson. Being forced to be pushing hard in the middle. Here comes Kraus on the toss. He's got his brother. What a play by the Vikings secondary. Abel and Anderson and Hebel on the play to take Kraus out of bounds with no gain on the play. Maybe even a loss on the play. That was a big play for them earlier. Now Riley Odell back in there. Court Elliott getting a break.
A little light rain starting to fall out there. I didn't even notice it at first, but it's so soft out there and no wind.
Yeah.
A little light rain started to fall here in these last few plays, and we've got them pushed back now to about a 3rd and 11. It's going to be a big play. Vikings going to need to stiffen here.
Oh, absolutely. Wide receiver to the far side and the near side. Double wing formation. Puts a man in motion. And now somebody jumped in the middle. Then the Vikings jumped, but I think that it's going to be false start. So move them back 5 more yards. Move the ball back to the 31-yard line. They got to get to the 40, near the 47. So it's 3rd down and 16. Yeah, and the light rain is not necessarily a good thing for if you're thinking about passing the ball. That makes the ball just a little bit wetter.
No, it just kind of came out of nowhere, too. Like I said, there's no wind whatsoever. It's just coming straight down.
Been some sprinkle. We might have to close our window here. So big 3rd down play. Now there's 3 receivers to the left side for Halstead. Single back behind the quarterback, Kraus. He's going to roll. Pursuit coming from Sugar. Oh, he gets away from it. Kraus is trying to get upfield, but he's going to be pushed out of bounds. The Vikings hold on 3rd down. But like I said before, it may be 4-down territory right here.
Kyle Anderson getting over there to catch him and take him down near the sideline.
It may be 4 down. Well, they're going to send Winkle out, so they're sending the punt team out. I would not take our defense out, but looks like Zach Abel's going to go back. But Kai Shugren, again, pushing in and closing in on Kraus, and somehow he got away from Kai.
I tell you, if he wouldn't have looked around, I think Kyle might have just been able to drill him there in the backfield. He was fortunate to turn and take a look, and then Kyle Anderson able to finish
that's
him off.
A penalty. You can't run from the formation. There's another 5-yard penalty on Halstead as one of the linemen took off. They had too many men on the field.
I think if there was any doubt whether or not they were going to go for it and maybe try to trick us there on that play, that went away very quickly.
Yeah, that went away real quick. So Winkle's in now to punt the ball away. I don't I don't say I'm a coach, but I wouldn't not let Zach Abel catch this ball. I would leave him up farther and let the ball bounce and take even more time off the clock. We'll see what happens. Vikings lead 24-16. 7:18 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Winkle back to punt. He's standing at his 25-yard line. Good snap. Little pressure coming. High, wobbly kick. Zach Abel's going to let it bounce. Get out of the way. Oh, it's going to take a Halstead bounce. They're trying to stop it before, but they go into the end zone. The momentum takes him into the end zone. That's a touchback.
He's going to call it at the 2, it looks like.
Or if the ball, is it in high school? Do you get?
I think it might be where you capture possession of the football.
But you have to stay out of the end zone.
Yeah, he's going to mark him down at the 2.5 yard line.
He had possession of it. No question about that. So an interesting play there on the punt. I don't know the rule, so I can't argue it.
Great punt. I mean, amazing punt and a great hustle play on their behalf to get there. And sure enough, that ball kicked up. I'd love a play like that when I play golf, but it never stays quite that well. But
never goes where you want it to.
Vikings up against the wall here to start this drive.
Wishbone formation. With all three backs are in the end zone. Here comes Anderson. He's got some running room. He's near the 10-yard line. So big run by Kyle Anderson, running from his own end zone out to near the 9, over the 9-yard line, near the 10-yard line. Second down, and we'll call it 3. 6:53 to go. Supposed to be running the clock. Why is the clock stopped? Now it took off running. Man, we got a home-cooked crowd here, and we can't get our clock to keep running.
That's where you got to tick, tick, tick just a little bit at a time, don't you?
Yeah, want it to run a little faster. Wishbone formation behind Heitschmidt. Here comes Cord Elliott. Cord Elliott, first down yardage across the 15, nearing the 16-yard line. They'll move those chains. And the Viking offensive line, you called it, Doug. You said that might wear down this defense a little bit, and it certainly is, because they had 9 guys going both ways?
Yes, that's correct.
And it is showing, because the Vikings have really put in a lot of substitutions. We saw Court Elliott and who was the other fullback earlier? Court Elliott and Tim Lambert were running pretty. Now Court Elliott's still in at fullback and Kyle Anderson in at tailback. Here comes Court Elliott powering again. He's up to the 20-yard line. He got 4 on that carry. We'll take 4 yards on every carry now at the 6-minute mark with the Vikings leading 24-16. We'll take 4 yards on every carry. That'll get you first down on 3 carries and move the sticks, keep the clock running.
What a great night for depth. I mean, you're seeing our depth here. You're seeing guys being able to step on the field. You got Lambert coming back in now. Court Elliott has ran well. Timmy has run well. Kyle has run well. Riley when he was out there. Court. I mean, just everybody doing exactly what they have to do to take up time on this clock.
Wishbone formation. You'll see that the rest of the way, I'm sure. Here comes Lambert. He's going to get wrapped up. So what we were taking 4 yards, it gets dropped to a -1 on that play. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 8 for the Vikings.
Vikings again getting the clock to run, utilizing some time here. Got to make a decision here on this play. Looks like it might be a possibility with the play clock running down. The Vikings might potentially call timeout here and maybe see if they can come up with something here on this 3rd and 8 play. It definitely looks like Coach Lambert's going to take his time and to get as much off that play clock as possible. Then get a play call here on the side and see what we can run.
And that is exactly what they do. We'll take a timeout. 4:41 left to go in the fourth quarter. Vikings up 24-16. Back right after this.
As an active person, whether on the playing field or a morning bike ride, an injury can stop you. Quick treatment from Salina Ortho can lead to quick recovery. Don't allow an injury to keep you from the active life you enjoy. Salina Ortho, your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
Ace your next harvest with A-Series beans from Phelps Seed, your hometown Pioneer seed specialist, providing Pioneer wheat, corn, soybean, sunflower, and Milo seed, along with the crop protection chemicals you need. Grow with a winner. Phelps Seed, with you from the word go.
This is a Rockingham broadcast of the Smoky Valley Vikings.
Bethany College Anderson Stadium. Lindstrom Brothers Field here with the Vikings and their season opener, home opener, against the Halstead Dragons, a team that has beat them soundly the last 2 years, and the Vikings have a 24-16 lead here with 4:41 left to go, facing a 3rd and 7, long 7. They'll send 3 receivers to the far side. Heitschmidt will be in shotgun formation. Riley Odell beside him. Remember, Heitschmidt's going to take it himself, trying to push it up, and he's going to be stopped. So Heitschmidt will be stopped with a gain of about 2 yards. I'm sure they didn't want to throw the ball and risk an incompletion to stop the clock. So that means the Vikings will probably have to punt the ball away. Riley Odell, the punter. He had 1 punt early, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, we've had 1 punt. I think we had a 40-yard punt the first time we did it. I don't think there was a return on it, if I remember correctly.
I don't think so either.
So the Vikings are going to send the punt team out. Looks like Riley is back out on the field to punt.
21, Mendez and Fulgham are the returners. It's a bad shank punt, and it's going to go out of bounds, or it's going to be deadened about the 27-yard line, so about a 5-yard punt. So not a good time to have a bad shank punt for the Vikings. So that sets Halstead up in short field position here now at the inside the 30, at the 27-yard line. With 3:51 left to go.
It looked like the ball just maybe came off the side of his foot there. They're going to have, like you said, 3:51. Vikings up 24-16, and definitely going to be a test for our defense here on this possession.
Power I formation to the left. Schulte coming up the middle with it, and he'll get maybe a yard gain on the play. 2nd down and 9.
Great play there by Wampler in the middle, wrapping him up and taking him down.
Ethan Wampler assisted by Riley Odell in the middle. Odell Mader or Hebel. Get the right person here. Blake Hebel and Anderson and Odell, the linebackers. Adams and then Conrad Peterson, Wampler, and Kai Schugren up front. Power I formation near side. Here comes the tailback, and he's wrapped up for a loss on the play. Great effort in there by Riley Odell.
Looked like Conrad Peterson might have been back in there first, and Riley ended up coming in to finish him off. Great job by the Viking defense.
And Halstead will call a timeout. We'll step aside as well. 3:09 left to go in the 4th quarter. Vikings leading 24-16. Back right after this.
Game day starts and finishes at Farley's Bar and Grill in downtown Lindsborg. Located at 101 North Main, this upscale, one-of-a-kind establishment offers a wide variety of drink and food specials. Come try their jalapeno poppers, coconut chicken tenders, or their classic Monte Cristo. Then wash it down with an ice-cold beer or tall glass of wine. Farley's Bar and Grill at the corner of Lincoln and Main in downtown Lindsborg. Farley's, your game day headquarters for the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
You're listening to Smoky Valley Vikings Athletics.
Is rising to the occasion after a short punt. Field position flipping over toward Halstead's favor. Halstead has run 2 plays and gained 0 yards total now. They're facing a 3rd and 10.
You know, we talked about that gamer earlier, Donnie. We hadn't seen Riley Odell out there very much, and we did get Conrad Peterson to stand him up, but Riley Odell in there to finish that play off for -1. Now it's where the defense takes the time to stiffen, and that front line's been fantastic. This is only, correct me if I'm wrong, their 9th play of the half on offense.
Oh, I know it. It's crazy. Power I formation to the far side of the field. Krause is going to roll back to the middle. He's got some receiver down the middle. Caught at the goal line. Touchdown, Schulte. So they haven't thrown very many passes. They haven't run very many plays, but they have got within 2 points now, 24-22, as a 27-yard pass.
Nice job. He was able to get back on a little reverse pivot, was able to find him down the field. The interesting thing here is they've kicked extra points all night long. For them to be able to tie this game, they're going to have to go for 2 here. So this is a little out of character for Halstead, and it goes back to that missed extra point earlier in the game. If they would have made that one, they could have gone for it here.
Well, it's a 2-point conversion. Can the Viking defense hold them? Krause is going to roll back and pass. He's looking. He's under pressure. He's got to throw a goal line. Short! The Vikings stop it. Kraus gets hit. Who got the hit? Did you see? Is it Ethan Wampler?
I think it might have been Ethan Wampler in there. They were definitely keying on him, and they were coming after him. Right at the half-yard line gets hit, and the ball comes out, and that's going to be, they're going to stop that conversion. Vikings are going to stay up by 2.
Vikings stay up by 2, 24-22 on the failed 2-point conversion. We'll be back with the ensuing kickoff right after this.
People's Bank and Trust takes pride in its heritage of service to the customer and features 12 locations in central Kansas. People's Bank and Trust, a proud supporter of Smoky Valley and Bethany College. Member FDIC.
Lindsborg Community Hospital and Family Healthcare Clinic, supporting concussion safety and impact testing for all athletes who call the Smoky Valley home.
Again, Don, a 51-second drive to score.
I know.
Every one of their scores has been under. I mean, I know it was a rough kick there in that regard, but every one of their scores has been a minute and 40 seconds or less on the entire night.
Yeah.
And again, the Vikings still far outweigh them in time of possession. Smoky Valley looks like they're expecting it's going to be an onside kick. Got the hands team out there. Got everybody except for Tim Lambert up there within the first 10 yards.
Yeah, they're expecting. Welcome back to the ensuing kickoff with 3 minutes left to go. The Vikings are getting their hands team up. Lane Schrog, the final piece to that puzzle, coming in now. So they're expecting an onside kick. We'll see what happens here. They've got 8 guys within the 50, between the 50 and the 40. The White Hat has signaled to go. Here comes the kick. It comes right over here. It's high, and it's loose, and it's wrapped up by the Vikings. My goodness, what a great onside kick. It had chances for both teams to get it, but the Vikings come up with it. Number 24, Trey Kennedy, a sophomore. At least they're patting him on the back anyway.
Yeah, it was Trey Kennedy. That ball headed right at Kyle Anderson and took an awkward hop. It actually ended up in the outside guy's hands for Halstead until he got hit. Then that squirted out there, and you're right, Trey Kennedy falling on it, and that might be one of the biggest recoveries of the entire night.
Of the entire season, maybe. Yes. Who knows? 24-22. Halstead has 2 timeouts left. Vikings need at least 1 first down here, because Halstead will call timeout immediately. Handoff coming through. Tim Lambert almost gets a first down on the first carry. He gets all the way up to the 44-yard line. So he'll pick up 7 on that carry, and Halstead will call a timeout. We'll keep this one right here as the onside kick for Halstead. Not only is Winkle a good kicker lengthwise, he kicked a nice onside kick because it went end over end, and when it got to Kyle, it bounced right over Kyle's head. Kyle had no chance to get that, and that's when it becomes a scrum because it gets out in the open. You got 9 guys from Halstead rushing at the ball. You got 5 or 6 guys from the Vikings coming at it. It like you said, it ended up in Halstead had a hand on it, but Kennedy come away with it after it bounced away from the Halstead player.
Some very good field awareness there, because when Kyle first saw that ball kicked, his first inclination was to move forward. Then it took that weird hop, and he started to move back and wait on it. It got up over his head, and the next thing he did, he actually made contact with the Halstead player as he had his hand on the ball and jarred that ball loose so that the Smoky Valley Vikings could come up with it. And again, what a heads-up play. That ball was scrumming around there for quite a while until Trey Kennedy finally lays on it, and second down for the Vikings.
Wishbone formation again for Smoky Valley. Highschmidt takes the snap, turns and hands it off to Court Elliott. Court Elliott's got first down yardage. Halstead it'll stop the clock for the measurement, but the Halstead coach knows that they'll wind the clock, so he's going to use his last timeout right here. So the Vikings will have, it's only 25 seconds, so they're going to have to get another first down. But the Vikings get the initial first down, and they will have a chance to get one more first down and run the clock out here. But with only 25 seconds and then 7 or 8 seconds between the restart of it's about 30 seconds per play, so it's a couple of them. Go ahead.
Well, Remax Advantage Realtor Scoreboard Show will be coming up after the game today. Don't miss the Remax Advantage Realtor Scoreboard Show tonight from 10 to 11 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL. Get a recap of this game, scores from the area, and other wraps from around the Rockingham media stations. That's Remax Advantage Realtor Scoreboard Show from 10 to 11 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL. Big thing for the Vikings here, keep a hold of that football. You know Halstead's going to be coming after it.
You know they're going to push hard up the middle. Wishbone formation behind Heitschmidt. 2:47 left to go. Vikings leading 24-22. Here comes Kyle Anderson. He's spinning hard. He's running hard. He's got nearly the first down, and they'll give him forward progress for the first down, all the way down to near the 40-yard line. So that's one big play, and that's a lot of, it's 10 seconds on that play from 2:47 to 2:37. Great crowd on hand tonight.
It's been a great crowd, great energy, and you notice when Smoky Valley got the football back, the rain went away.
Well, I think it's still spitting a little bit, but it certainly isn't as heavy as it was when Halstead had it, so no question about that. Here come the Vikings up to the line of scrimmage. Court Elliott, Tim Lambert, and Kyle Anderson in the backfield behind Heitschmidt. They'll turn and hand it off to Court Elliott. He'll power up the middle for a couple of yards, 2, maybe 3. But Halstead cannot stop it now at the 2-minute mark. And they haven't signaled they're ready for play yet. To start that 25-second, we're under 2 minutes. We're going to have to get one more first down.
Yeah, again, we go back to what you and I talked about earlier. We have worn down that front line. You're hearing a lot of the same names with a lot of tackles tonight for Halstead, and the Vikings continue to bring wave after wave after wave of guys up the middle and just doing a great job of finishing plays.
Hand off this time to Kyle Anderson. He's trying to get outside. He's working hard and going to stay inbounds, and he does. Oh, no, they said he stepped out of bounds. Well, that's not a very good spot by forward progress. So he had forward progress. He was trying his hardest to stay inbounds, but they say he got out of bounds. So a little bit of a break there for Halstead. But the Vikings are all the way down to the 35-yard line. So the clock stopped on the out of bounds. Man, if you're in the NFL or at college, you don't get the clock stopped from that one. You had forward progress, and then they pushed him back to get him out of bounds, and they gave him credit for getting him out of bounds. 3rd down and 5. Just get a first down here, Smoky Valley, and this game will be over. Heitschmidt's going to turn and hand it off to Kyle Anderson. He's running up the middle. He's running hard. He's not going to get the first down, and it's going to be 4th down. And the clock will continue to run. My guess is the Vikings will run it again and try to get the first down. They can take it all the way down to the... Well, they haven't even started the 25-second clock. They finally did. They can take it down to about 30 seconds and then call timeout and run the play they want to run. Or otherwise, they'll just run it and get a first down and take it where it is.
Yeah, I think it could be to the Vikings' advantage to go, but I think Coach Lambert's going to hold up. I think he's going to go ahead and take that timeout.
Take the final timeout. When it gets down 11 seconds, it'll be 35 seconds. Now he is going to call timeout. I thought he would. 39.3 seconds remaining. Vikings are facing a 4th down and a long one, short 2. They've gotten a lot of running plays. We'll keep it right here. You're going to run Court Elliott. You're going to run Kyle Anderson. You're going to run... Brett Heitschmidt hasn't had as much success keeping the ball himself. Tim Lambert hasn't had quite as much success. So my thinking, if I'm Halstead and I'm going to try to stop the Vikings, I'm going to key on Court Elliott or Kyle Anderson.
My feeling, if you're Halstead, you're doing exactly what you just said, which is who's going to get the ball on this play.
Yeah.
Because there are so many options that we use throughout the evening. And again, keep in mind that little misdirection flip that we did so well in the first half, I think, to Timmy. It's another good option now. It's one of those plays you don't know if you like because the ball's in the air for a little while.
Yeah.
And if something goes wrong, that's not exactly what you want. But we're looking to put a game away here, and I think there's that aggressiveness here when you get late to make sure you can finish the game off because the first down right here seals this game, and it is a done deal. So I guarantee you that's what Coach Lambert is telling his line and his entire group right there is you guys go out, get this block taken care of, get the yardage, and we are walking out of here with a dub.
And win this ball game.
Exactly.
39.3 seconds to go. Play clock has started. Heitschmidt will go under center. I formation with behind him The snap and the turn on handoff to Kyle Anderson. He's got first down yardage, and the Vikings are going to win it. Kyle Anderson across the 30 down to the 29, and the Vikings are high-fiving each other, giving the referee a pat on the back. They are excited with 34 seconds left. They're going to have to snap the ball one more time. So we know that. 34 seconds remaining. There is the wind of the clock, and the Vikings are going to have to take a knee. Coach Lambert going out there and saying, take a knee, please. And the Vikings are getting that victory formation. Brett Heitschmidt will take the snap. He will go back and touch it down, and that is it. Smoky Valley wins their home opener, their season opener, 24-22 over Halstead, and we'll be back to wrap up this game for you after this final timeout.
The Old Stuga in downtown Lidsborg is celebrating 40 years in business. Home of the famous Brent Nelson sandwich. Visit them on South Main Street. Go Vikings and go Swedes.
At State Farm, when home and auto work together as a team, you score time and money. Call State Farm agent Anthony Hopkins, 785-472-4426 today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Do you know what major TV networks, Hall of Fame athletes, wineries, pubs, famous chefs, and brides and grooms from across the country have in common? They all purchase custom-etched glass at glassdecorators.com. Glassdecorators.com has been providing carefully crafted etched glass for nearly 30 years. An effective tool for company branding, etched glasses are also perfect for school and civic groups, special occasions, and that one-of-a-kind gift they won't receive anywhere else. Hempsloyd Scandinavian Specialties and glassdecorators.com, supporting Smoky Valley Athletics since 1984.
Overhead Door Company of North Central Kansas invites you to visit their website at odcnck.com. Once there, you can look over the products that Overhead Door offers for commercial and residential installation and repair. Overhead Door Company services all of North Central Kansas.
Farmers State Bank of Lindsborg, located at 447 Harrison Street, is proud to support the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes. Good luck, Vikings, and good luck, Swedes. Member FDIC.
The Bank of Teskett proudly supports the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes. With locations in Salina, Lindsborg, Lincoln, and Teskett, the Bank of Teskett is always there for your convenience. Whether it's personal banking, business banking, refinancing, or taking out a new loan, come see why the Bank of Teskett is rated 5 stars by Bauer Financial. The Bank of Teskett. Generations of confidence, relationships for life. Member FDIC. Go Vikings and go Swedes.
We're the Bank of Teskett.
This is the Bank of Teskett postgame show. Coming up, the Salina Ortho Player of the Game, scores from around the area, final stats, and an interview with the coach. This is Smoky Valley Vikings football on 95.5 The Rock.
This is the Bank of Teskett postgame show, Generations of Confidence, Relationships for Life. Member FDIC, the Bank of Teskett postgame show. And the Vikings, well, they turned the tables on the Halstead Dragons. They come up with a victory, and what a night for the Vikings as the Vikings come away with a 24-22 victory over the Halstead Dragons. The scoring started. The Vikings put it together, a 58-yard drive culminating in a 3-yard Kyle Anderson touchdown run on 4th down. Kyle Anderson, 2-point conversion good, and the Vikings led 8-0, but good field position sparked a short drive, a minute 30, 53-yard drive for the Halstead Dragons. The point after kick was good, and it was 8-7 with 3:51 left to go in the first quarter. And the Vikings put together a big drive but did not score, turned it over on downs inside the red zone. And the first play, Halstead run at 82 yards by Schulte for a touchdown. The point after was no good, and the Vikings were behind 13-8. But just that quickly, Brett Heitschmidt took to the air and threw it to Tim Lambert, a 68-yarder. The 2-point conversion run by Kyle Anderson was good, and the Vikings led 16-13. But right before halftime, Halstead put together a drive, culminated in a short field again, and they kicked a 37-yard field goal with just 8 seconds left to go and tied the game up at 16-16. Nobody scored in the third quarter, although the Vikings gave the ball away, a Kyle Anderson fumble, but Halstead went 3 and out. The Viking defense held, and that set up the fourth quarter. An exciting 85-yard drive by Smoky Valley. Court Elliott taking it in from the 1-yard line. Tim Lambert taking in the 2-point conversion, giving the Vikings a 24-16 lead. Then the Vikings defense forced Halstead to punt, but the Vikings, working out of the shadow of their own end zone, got the ball up to about the 20-yard line, but went to punt it away in a wet ball with the rain that started to come down. Riley Odell's punt only went about 7 yards, and that shut Halstead up with a short field. And the ensuing 27-yard pass from Kraus to Schulte was good with 3 minutes left to go. But the big point after, they'd gone for extra point kicks all along. This time they had to go for 2. And Kraus dropping back as if to pass, then tucked it to run. And he got hit right at the end zone. Coach Henderson is with us now. We think it was Ethan Wamper that knocked the ball loose, but that was the play of the game as the Vikings nullified the 2-point conversion and held on to win a 24-22 victory. Congratulations, Coach Henderson.
Well, thank you, Donnie. Well, I'll tell you what, I when I watched them on film last week, I said, boy, they're about the same talent level as that Clay Center team we played last year, and I'll be darned if it didn't almost turn out to be an identical game to that. So, wow, really excited to win the game for sure. Fortunate in a little bit of a case, but wow, what a drive by our offense there. How many plays was the 85-yard drive?
I don't know if it was
a lot,
10 or 12 at least, maybe more than that. They only had the ball 9 offensive plays, I think, or 10. They had so 10. Few plays in the second half. It was phenomenal. Your defense played so well, and your offense just executed.
Yeah, we did a good job there defensively in the second half. We tackled better, and we took us a little bit of seeing that option and adjusting to the speed. You just can't simulate the speed that varsity teams play at when you practice with your scout team. Our scout team does the best they can, but but once we got adjusted to that, we played the option really well. They popped the fullback that one time, but other than that, it was pretty solid on defense. And then just a really gutsy drive there, and our kids, it's our MO, it's who we are. We keep battling, and our offensive line keeps blocking and getting after people, and we run the ball hard. And
your depth showed up. You got Tim Lambert and Court Elliott taking the majority of the snaps in that fourth quarter drive.
Yeah, and we've developed some depth, and it really helped us tonight.
Great made some great adjustments, James, in the first half because they were able to get the pitch on you a few times. And then you guys really adjusted after that one possession and really took the outside of the field away from them. Again, they had the one play where Schulte was able to break it after our long drive and we weren't able to score. But, again, a credit to your coaching staff, a credit to the players for making the adjustments on the field as well.
Well, that's Coach Peters and Coach Lambert getting our secondary right on what was going on there. So, that was good, and we had Kyle playing a little strong safety tonight, and then moved him back into the linebacker position, and so I think that might have made us a little better.
But it's developing. It's getting people in different places, and we talked about they had 9 guys going both ways, and you were able to substitute a lot, and we just looked like a fresher team in the second half.
We were. Now, they subbed a lot on their defensive line, and I just don't think they could find the right guys, in the combination there. We have a couple offensive and defensive linemen that are playing both ways. Yeah. I don't like to name names, but they're very good.
Well,
players.
I will. Conrad and Kai have done a sensational job. New starters, and they just came in and did a superb job.
Well, it looked like Riley was a little dinged up tonight as well.
Yeah, we don't know for sure what's there. Court really stepped in at fullback and played very well. And so, and we didn't want Riley playing both ways the second half. We don't want to wear him out the first game.
Oh, absolutely.
And we'll see what it is and check it out.
How about Larned? We got a long road trip next week to Larned. Larned Pratt was ahead of them 14-0 at half. I don't have an update on that score now, but Larned is going to be a good team.
Yeah, you know, they had a lot of talent last year at their skill positions and one really good defensive lineman. You know, we'll have to watch the film. You know, they were a team, you know, they had won only 1 or 2 games and then got into the playoffs and won in the first round. So, you know, their kids are, I'm sure, coming back and they're excited to play. And we haven't been to Larned for a while.
It's been a long time.
Coach McClure and I think, are the only guys on the staff that have been there for, you know, to coach a football game. So that's
the radio guy has, and I haven't been. I haven't been there.
You haven't been there. Well,
I haven't been there.
Well, it's a little bit different setting and environment there. So our kids will have to get ready to play well on the road. And of course, you know, we should see our biggest amount of improvement from week 1 to week 2, and we're going to expect that. I'm sure tomorrow morning we'll see a lot of things that we need to work on and correct.
Oh, absolutely.
And our guys are very coachable. They'll respond to that. I do want to tell you one thing. I showed up about 4:40 at the locker room. Coach Lambert showed up at 4:30, and he told me when he showed up at 4:30, 90% of our kids were already dressed.
Wow, they were anxious.
So we've got some young men that are excited to play this game, and they play it with passion, and they play it with emotion, and they play it with enthusiasm, and it's so much fun to coach them.
I want you to hear this because one of the parents was up here in the press box early too, and he just said these kids have been looking forward to this year since they were 3rd and 4th grade. So this has been a lot of momentum building for a lot of years, and it shows by what they do. It shows by what you guys have done, and it showed by the scoreboard tonight as the Vikings come away with a 24-22 victory.
Yes, and let's hope, you know, we're discussing some of the same things, at least scoreboard-wise, when we talk again next Friday night. Thank you, Donnie, and thank you, Doug. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming up and stopping with us. I know Coach Lambert said he would like to get up here, but it's hard for him to fight the crowd and get up here. We appreciate you coming up and dropping down here from the press box top and helping us out. Thanks, James.
Okay, we'll see you next week.
Congratulations.
No question about it. What a great night.